professionals. Mark Hannon with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
Craving a fiesta for your taste buds? Welcome to Rosalita's Cantina, your ultimate Tex-Mex getaway. Indulge in their mouth-watering tacos, queso-smothered burritos, and the best chips and salsa imaginable. Dine in on their beautiful patio, majestic bar, elegant dining hall, or grab it to go. And don't forget to check out their location at Enterprise Center. No game or concert is complete without nachos and a margarita. Rosalita's Cantina, where the sunshine never ends. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
Ready to step your game up to the next level? 5P Academy is the place for any high-level 8 to 18-year-old football player. Based in O'Fallon, Missouri, we have national travel, 7-on-7, and flag football teams with professional coaches. Pre-registration for our 2025 season tryouts in November is open now. Come be a part of the championship-winning 5P family. For more details, email info@5pacademy.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
If you talk to someone who has had a kitchen remodel, say, from Collier & Thompson, they'd probably love to show it to you and say, look what our place looks like now. Collier & Thompson does it, and they do it right. Also, football season is here. You might want to update that man cave. Nothing better than sitting in a comfortable man cave, and Collier & Thompson can make it look like the best place in your house. You want an appliance? Maybe an appliance for the holidays. You're thinking about that. They've got the top brand names. They got Bosch, Thermador, Wolf, Sub-Zero. Got them all. Old Stacy is the appliance guy. He'll do you right. Matthew and Eric are the appliance installers. Also, they are looking to hire some lead contractors. If that is your line of work and you'd like to work for the best company in town that does this sort of stuff, Collier & Thompson is the one to look for. They've got almost everything, and it's all right there in-house. No need to go to 5 or 8 different places to remodel one room. With Collier & Thompson, the countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, hardware, plumbing, electric, you name it, it is all right there in-house. They will take absolutely great care of you. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality. Online at collierandthompson.com.
Why Brown & Crouppen? If you hire us, you're going to get great service, you're going to get a great result. We're the winningest, and quite frankly, we're the kindest, the strong voice, an advocate. Why Brown & Crouppen? We provide a family. We have the power, the resources, and the ability to do what you need us to do, which is to get every cent that you deserve for the terrible thing that was done to you. That's why Brown & Crouppen. The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
Thinking about selling your home, but not thrilled about going public? Check out Compass's Private Exclusives with Jeff Lotman. With Private Exclusives, your home is shown to a select group of serious buyers. No public listing, no days on market, just real offers from real people. Their network connects you with top agents and qualified buyers, so your home gets the attention it deserves, without all the fuss. Selling your home can be simple and stress-free with Compass Private Exclusives, because your home is special. Call Jeff Lotman, your Compass agent today to find out more, or visit the Lotman Group online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carter.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention Luther Burden III, we'll make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge, newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood, or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door, online at fisherwindow.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hey you, it's Dr. Pryor. If your mouth's been getting more action from late night pizza than it has from a toothbrush, it's time to come see me. At 100 West Dental, we know how to clean up your act and your smile. Whether it's overdue cleanings, a chipped tooth from a wild weekend, or just getting that fresh, I'm definitely not hungover grin, we got you covered. Look, we know you're not shy, so why shy away from getting your teeth right? Book your free consultation at 100westdental.com and let's give you something to smile about. Because hey, you deserve to be as smooth as Tim's golf swing.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. 7 o'clock hour. Come on in.
How's the water?
Warm.
Okay.
Warm. It's hot, actually. Collier and Thompson phone lines invite you to partake. 636-9004 TMA. Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Design Air Heating and Cooling. Email the day. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. And let me see what's doing in this YouTube chat. Let's see. No, that's October 14th.
Don't need it.
Now I'm going to go to the live one.
I'm going to say 82 people.
68 people were waiting for us right when 95. Now it's 95.
Okay.
Build the Brady Cook statue is the first message I see. That's from coaches John and Dean Ellis. Could we please lead with ILL as opposed to Mizzou rallying to beat a poor team? I think both programs beat poor teams this weekend. Just one was a brand. Morning, fellas. What a weekend. Illini win, Mizzou wins, Blues wins, Chiefs win. Can we cap it off by Doug showing us some skin? That's John's scores.
Here's my hand. How about that skin? Enough skin for you?
No.
It was a good weekend for the home clubs.
Nice. City lost.
Oh, they did? Okay. Boy, this Illinois outfit. I love their suits.
Did you really like those?
I love those
Did
uniforms.
you?
I did.
What about
those were
Missouri's?
Fantastic. I didn't like Missouri's. Should be wearing a black helmet with a block M.
Jackson, real quickly, did you like the Missouri uniforms?
No.
Okay.
The gold
I respect
dome.
somebody who's going to call a ball, and a strike.
Yeah, yellow domes on black, all black is not a great look.
Okay.
But
I'm surprised you like the Illinois ones.
Oh, I loved them.
I thought they looked a lot
absolutely loved
better
them.
on television than they had in the pictures.
Yeah.
And then once you heard about how much work went into each of those leather helmet designs, it was you have to respect it.
Yeah. I thought it just looked cool. It's something that I don't think anyone else has ever done.
Definitely not the leather helmet thing. I can't remember.
No. Yeah, I guess maybe as you get older, you have more of an appreciation for nostalgia and tradition and fondness for the people that came before us. I would love to see them wear that more often. But I'm sure that 18-year and 19-year-old kids who are recruiting aren't that interested in rehashing Red Grange's career every time they put on the uniform. But I thought it was a great look.
Doug, I just got back from my honeymoon. How long do I wait before I make my move on my father-in-law? I don't want him to get the wrong idea and think I'm only in this marriage for his daughter.
Yeah.
That's from the Maplewood Mud Muffler.
I would give it a couple, 2-3 weeks.
I'm starting to become attracted to my wife's father.
See, that happened to Gabe, apparently. But I would give it at least 2-3 weeks.
St. Louis Chiefs, undefeated. That's from Mr. Siders.
St. Louis Chiefs. At least the Missouri. If they were called the Missouri Chiefs, would you root for them?
No. I was driving to work this morning, and someone was walking their dog outside of my home.
Yeah.
And what do you know? Big old Chiefs sweatshirt.
Oh.
Guy looked about 2 years older than me. Woke early morning.
Did you start yelling at him?
Yeah, I rolled down my window and started throwing trash at him.
He's been flipped.
What's wrong with that? Do you know he was rooting for the Chiefs just because the Rams left?
No, but it was 5 in the morning, and I was looking to scrap.
Oh, yeah. You wake up, Banty.
That's right.
Did Jackson influence ESPN.com to have the WNBA finals on their homepage? Is that what's on the homepage?
No, probably their contract with the NBA did that.
Oh, boy, I got to tell you. You know what, Doug, look, I'm doffing.
I see you're tipping your cap.
Follow the money.
Yeah, I mean, what does everybody wake up talking about this morning? Do you have the audio of the coach of the...
Reeves?
Yeah.
I do, but there's most certainly a curse in there.
So you're familiar with it, Doug?
Yes. I didn't cut it after.
I got to tell you, I don't know if I've ever watched WNBA, but the Dodgers thing was a blowout. The Jets thing was a blowout. I'm sitting there, I've already popped pills, don't know my name, and I'm like, I'll turn this on. And there happened to be a minute and a half left.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually thought, couldn't care any less, you might be surprised to hear. I was like, boy, New York's really getting some favorable calls here at the end. And then sure enough, I wake up this morning because, as Eric in the Central West End notes, it is plastered all over ESPN.com. Mm-hmm. And the head coach, Doug, is the Lynx. Is that the team?
I believe
the Lynx?
So. Yeah.
She didn't hold back.
No.
Yeah, I have. I'll play the first part, and if they're cursing, you know what? I'll just figure it out.
You know, sometimes you get away with stuff when you're physical and aggressive, and they certainly did. You know, it's a shame that officiating, you know, had such a hand in a series like this. Obviously, there's always going to be a team that's going to be a little more disappointed than the other. I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which we, you know, it's kind of, you know, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because, you know, that decided the game.
Okay, that was awful. And there's better audio. We didn't play it. That's on me. I should have never called for WNBA audio, and I should be terminated. But right here, right now. Is John Kowski out there?
If there's three officials, what's the third party?
She said way more than that. There's a better clip. We didn't play it. I shouldn't have called for it if it wasn't in the audio. That's on me, 100%. It's better.
Come on, Tim.
I mean, she said, I don't know, Jackson, do you have... It's on the front page of ESPN. I can't believe I've been doing this, considering the weekend that we had in the St. Louis area. All right, it's the top two stories on ESPN.com. Says the title was stolen from them. Yeah. All the headlines will be... Reeve cries foul, bring it on, because this S was stolen from us, so bring it on. There you go.
That's the
headline.
I don't know why it's so hard to get it.
Well, because Jackson didn't have it, but I don't blame Jackson for not cutting WNBA audio.
Yeah, I kind of learned my lesson after last week that was not going to play well with some folk.
Okay.
But I did notice that. I did see it.
Did you happen to be watching that?
No, I honestly, I watched a lot of sports this weekend. I was kind of like, I want to get to bed pretty early. And
what time you go to bed, boy?
I was like in bed by about 9:30, 10. I was done with the evening. I didn't really want to watch the rest of the game.
Not very dedicated to your craft.
Yeah,
I'm not doing the work, and that's on me.
Yeah, we are off to a rough start. I hope we can battle through it.
Tim may have called for the audio, but shame on Jackson for playing it and then not knowing the right one to play and then sitting there and actually enjoying it. Like that's Mr.
It is kind of on you, Jackson.
I get it.
I mean, my God, when you got, I mean, really, I mean, hey, here's the lead, crystal clear lead. I guess to me, it's obvious. It's Missouri, Auburn, Illinois, Michigan, and then Missouri, Alabama, Illinois, Oregon. You couldn't ask for much more. It's a shame they're both at 2:30. It's kind of a bad beat, but with Tennessee beating Alabama, I had a feeling that's what would take place. So Missouri gets the 2:30 start, probably better, I think. I always think it's better when you're on the road to be playing during the day. Ideally, at 11 o'clock, 2:30 is the next best option. And then Illinois gets a chance to go up against Oregon. 21.5-point dogs for ILL, 13.5-point dogs for the Fighting Tigers of Missouri. Illinois in complete control over Michigan, on Saturday, and now Illinois goes into, Doug, do you call it the Autzen Zoo?
I never say that, no.
And will try and beat the Ducks, something that the Buckeyes could not do.
No, I don't believe Illinois will get that done, but maybe they've been one of the big surprise teams in the whole country. I think if Missouri
and they absolutely should be ranked ahead of Missouri.
Yeah, if Missouri stays within 13,
none of it matters anyway. You got to win, but I would put Illinois if I was ranking based on what people have done. I'd put Illinois ahead of Missouri.
If Missouri stays within 13 of Alabama, I would consider that a bit of a moral victory. Not supposed to have moral victories at this point, but they've got about the wobbliest 6-1 I think I've ever seen. They've beaten three.
Let me see. I guess Miami's probably got the wobbliest undefeated mark, and I think 6-1 wise. Yeah, I don't know who could be wobblier.
No, they've beaten 3 junior varsity teams and 3 legitimate teams, although, certainly not great teams by any stretch. But they did. They won. They didn't lose. It looked like they were going to lose to Auburn, for sure. But I would think if they could come within 13 of Alabama, I'd almost take that.
So you're going to lay the 13.5 and yell "Roll Tide"
I
on
won't
Saturday.
yell "Roll Tide." I won't. But I can't see how this Missouri team could go into Alabama and win.
Kids are probably different than adults, and I don't know if kids will say, they want to go out and they want to win. But I don't know, when you're Alabama, you're used to being there every year, and you pretty much are done now. Do they come out and say, we still got a shot, let's show people what we are, let's kick their ass, or our season's done?
They still got to win over Georgia. It's crazy. But
Alabama wins out there, and Missouri wins out there. This is a playoff game. Missouri has a playoff game every way because Missouri's not in at 10-2, and Alabama is in at 10-2. I don't see. I guess theoretically some weird things could happen in championship games, but I would expect Alabama to be in at 10-2 with wins over at that point Georgia, Missouri, LSU. Oklahoma might be the worst team in the SEC, but they have Oklahoma and then Auburn left. But that means they would have wins over Georgia, Missouri, and LSU, and the LSU one would be at Baton Rouge. So that is that would be a much more impressive 10-2 than Missouri's 10-2, which would most likely have its best win over, I don't even know, South Carolina or Vanderbilt. Yeah. So I think Alabama still is playing for something. Now, how they respond and whether or not they are a great team, I think I would imagine this isn't a shot at Illinois. I've been talking about Illinois being in the mix for the playoff here for a month. But I think Illinois fans would acknowledge that's a bad Michigan team that wears Michigan. That isn't a good football team. If that were Minnesota, nobody'd be jumping up and down about it. That isn't a great team. Just like Oklahoma is not the Oklahoma of the past. Auburn isn't the Auburn of 10 years ago.
How about Nebraska?
Nebraska is better than they used to be. But also, it goes the other way. Look at what Indiana is. We're entering an NFL era of college football where it's difficult to handicap week to week.
Nebraska just lost like 56-7 to Indiana, something like that.
That's right. 5-2 on the year. They were only 6.5 point underdogs too.
Indiana's tough.
Indiana's tough.
They're good.
We've been talking about Indiana. Indiana has Ohio State. Other than that, their schedule, Indiana is legit to make the playoff.
Kurt Signetti, baby.
He's been great, yeah.
Google me.
He was great at James Madison. He's great at Elon.
Yeah.
Great at Indiana University, at Pennsylvania. I don't know how you name a school that. And yet they did. But they'll have a hard time hanging on to him at Indiana, I bet.
We'll see. Maybe he's a program builder.
Could be.
Some people like that challenge.
Most of them like the money.
They make money more than a challenge.
Yeah. If Florida were to call him, he'd probably say, yeah, I guess maybe I'll go.
I did see on the Alabama broadcast, and I don't know where they come up with this because they don't know what teams are going to do the rest of the season. But they said the team that loses this game between Tennessee and Alabama still had a 78% chance of getting in if they lost, and Tennessee had a 62% chance of getting the playoffs if they lost. I don't know how they come up with that, but those were the two percentages they had if they lost the game.
They make it up. Some odds maker makes it up.
Likely.
There'd be no other way to come up with that, is there?
Yeah, it's so much depending on what else happens around them.
Yeah, they probably look at the schedule and say, okay, we figure they're going to win this game if they win out. Maybe they were doing it if they win out after losing this game, the chance of getting in. They didn't really explain it very well.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I don't know. I watched that Missouri game and I thought, the same thing has happened again. I was excited about this game, and it's just such horrific football for the first half. They miss throws, they miss catches, they miss field goals, they miss tackles. And you go, why am I hoodwinked by this team into thinking that this is a really good team when it isn't? And then they just turned it right around. As soon as Cook steps back on the field, they're a different team again. Suddenly he's 2023 Brady Cook, running around on a bad ankle, and it looks like he's fine, leading one of the best drives of the season, one of the best we've seen in a while, I guess, to win a game. And then you think, well, maybe.
I don't know if I think, well, maybe so much as just isolating on that game. I recall I happened to have been at both. I mean, my God, the Vanderbilt game and the Auburn game. What else could you ask for if you're a fan, whether it be of Missouri or just college football? Both were incredibly exciting at the end. At the Vanderbilt game, I recall thinking Missouri's going to win this game. The half of the Auburn game, which was 3-3, if I'm not mistaken, at the half, I was saying to my wife, I'm like, I don't think they're going to win this game. Now, the important context, of course, is that Drew Pine was in there, and wow, I did not expect that. And by I did not expect that, I'm stunned at how bad he was with regard to his throws. Missouri clearly has no faith, as they shouldn't, in his ability to throw it downfield, and so they were limited to these short passes, and even those he couldn't make. So there was a lot of buzz about how great he was in camp and that they really had a legitimate backup. Of course, he had quarterbacked at Notre Dame, then he went to Arizona State, and he came in, and holy crap, that was stunning. Now, on the other side of things, the credit has to go to Missouri's defense. Part of that is because Auburn's offense is bad, but Missouri's defense held Auburn in check. And so Auburn only had 10 points offensively. The other 7 points came off of the Luther Burden fumble on the punt. And so when I saw Cook was coming back via the Colonel's Twitter account, actually, they were down, I believe, 17-6 at that point. And Missouri was plus 800. And guess who fired a little taste? Guess who? Oh, you did too?
$12 once I saw Brady Cook throwing on the sidelines.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You got it 8-1?
I got it 6-1.
I got it at 8-1. Yeah. And I'm in my reasoning for it, and I don't know what your reasoning was for it, and I don't just, I'm not really messing around with betting, but now that I got some money in my account, I'll mess around with betting, was I didn't think Auburn was going to score again. So the math on 8-1 is 16%. And in my mind, Missouri's down 11. I think with Brady Cook coming back in and down, they're going to throw. They're going to try and make deep. And the first play that Cook made when he came in was a deep throw to Burden. He didn't get it. Burden was in double coverage, hit off the back of the safety. Actually, he wasn't even covering him; it just hit off the back of the safety. But that was going to change the offense. Cook wasn't going. They weren't going to have him called run plays. He scrambled, but he wasn't going to be calling run plays. He ran in for the 2-point conversion, but that's different than like trying to run up the gut at the 40-yard line. And I'm like, I just don't think Auburn's going to be able to score. They just can't move the football. Again, part of it because they're bad, part of it because Missouri's defense is good today. It's certainly not the defense we saw against Connor Wegman and A&M. But my God, that drive, they started off their 5-yard line. And, I mean, how many 3rd and 4th down conversions did they have? The 4th and 5 pass play is the play, but there were plenty of others along the way. And, no matter what, that is the moment for Brady Cook to date. It'd be wonderful if there can be more, but to date, because without him coming back, they have zero chance. And part of that is because Drew Pine just can't do it. And then part of that is because clearly when he got back in there, they were able to start bringing in other elements of their offense and throwing the ball downfield because Pine can't do it.
Yeah, when I saw Brady coming back, that's when I fired the bet, just because I was like, Brady Cook, like he's coming back and he's got a lot of grit, and I felt if they were going to bring him back, he would be a lot better shape than he was when he was on the field where he couldn't put any weight on his foot. And then on that first pass to Luther, I said to myself, that is the Brady of last year. because it was a ball with some zip on it, and it wasn't overthrown. He's been overthrowing guys like crazy this year. That was kind of underthrown. I said, Brady is back, and he looked better than he's looked all year after he came out in that third quarter. He looked better than all year, and those were 2 massive drives he put on. Massive drives.
My mind doesn't work. A lot of times I forget certain things. Was it 17-6 when they had first and goal and didn't score, missed the field goal? Were they winning 17-6 when they had that?
I think it was 17-3.
What was it?
I think it was 17-3 at that time.
Well, that's the ball game right there. When they have first and goal and already up 14 points and they have first and goal and don't score. I mean, that was huge.
I thought it was huge that Cook could get in and out of the hospital as quickly as he did. It's been my experience when you go to the hospital emergency room, you sit there and you wait 2 hours.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't have to sit there in the waiting room with his helmet on and everything, mouthpiece in place, waiting for an MRI.
It's probably different when you're in the shoulder pads.
I suppose. They must have really hustled him in and out of there because they said he had an MRI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just that takes 25, 30 minutes usually.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was in there for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then someone's got to read it right away, and then they go, I guess, no structural damage. Get in there! Yeah. Rushed him back across the street.
I mean, I can't imagine what it was that he got shot up with. So, from a going forward standpoint, this can be a win. I suppose like the Kansas State game, although the Kansas State game, they played well. But keep in mind, they were coming off the Middle Tennessee State debacle the week before that then launched them. And even though they lost to LSU a couple weeks later, after beating Memphis and Vanderbilt, it launched them to playing quality football going forward throughout the rest of the season, really. So you got that. This one could have that kind of effect. The other side of it is, and I know probably Missouri fans don't want to hear this, but he's obviously hurt, and he was shot up. And if you listen to his interviews, he talked about how the moment after the touchdown that gave them the lead, he started to feel the pain. And so you see the precipitous drop-off between Cook and Pine, and that means if he is not right against Alabama, an Alabama team fighting for its season this Saturday, you got you know what the floor is. You saw the floor in the first, second, and third quarters against Auburn with the Missouri passing game. The positive is I can't imagine they'll be calling Brady Cook run plays anymore. You can't, because you can't risk it, and those weren't working anyway. The other positive is, in case it was bothering him, because certainly people were calling for or questioning him or calling for seeing Drew Pine, that's over. I mean, I don't know who would be doing that anymore. And so now he knows it's his going forward. And maybe he already knew that, but it is absolutely his. Now the receivers and the team know what Drew Pine is when they're actually playing, and it's not UMass. And so he knows that going forward. So it could shoot them up, and they can become the team that many around the country thought they were going to be going into the year, or because he is, dealing with injury, if he gets hurt early on against Alabama, I could see it getting away. It's such a monster. It's as big of a delta as I've seen, because he could either just go forward and surge for the final 5 games, or if he's hurt, it could be an absolute debacle.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's crazy. I'm not saying that like Brady looked like Joe Burrow in 2019 out there, but when you've played as poorly as they have passing-wise all year, it's understandable that wide receivers, other guys would lose confidence in the passing game, and that's so detrimental. But even a game like that where he puts on 2 of the best drives of the season, that can totally flip the script and bring the momentum and bring some confidence back into the passing game when you have to have the passing game working against Alabama. You have to have everything firing on all cylinders. And if this is the moment, as opposed to them just kind of beating Auburn without a story behind it, like this could be the launching point. Like you said, like this could be what changes the script. Or they just go out and don't play well, and that is very much likely. But at least you get a chance.
Well, I don't know. It's likely they wouldn't play well. I would say it's likely that he is going to be battling that injury, and if it's re-injured, I just don't know how they're going to be able to, unless Drew Pine just had a bad day,
I don't know.
But, I mean, I was shocked. I don't know how it looked on television. Whereas the Vanderbilt game, I was driving back from Columbia yesterday. My son had an event, and then we had a family event, so I haven't had a chance to rewatch the Auburn game. Whereas I did rewatch the Vanderbilt game, but in the building, it was amazing how he wasn't even close to hitting receivers. It also was clear that Missouri's, offense coordinator and Eli Drinkwitz did not want him to be throwing the ball downfield. He was in there to manage it. Had the fumble on the handoff, that. So the drop-off between Brady Cook and Drew Pine is substantial. So that would be concerning going forward if Cook were to get hurt in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. With backup quarterbacks, sometimes they just don't get to practice very much. It's something that's always bugged me when they say, well, the quarterback, we might bring him in, but he doesn't get many reps in practice. Well, why not? It's not unusual for a quarterback to get hurt. It's important to get your backup quarterback more reps so he knows exactly what he's doing when he gets in the game. This could have been a case like that. He couldn't have been this bad and had the career that he's had already. He hadn't been a horrible college quarterback. It must be that he just wasn't prepared.
He threw one a good pass to Theo Weiss.
Yeah, right over the middle. That was and I was like, oh, God, do they have something with this? That was a great throw. Can't agree with you more on that. That was the one that I was like, oh, crap. Yeah. It's kind of the same kind of route that they got with Mookie Cooper, although the Mookie Cooper one was nearly picked,
Yeah, and didn't they get through the first half with Luther Burden with one catch? I think he had 2 targets and 1 catch in the entire half.
The Colonel was all over the both coaching for Brady Cook staying in there and then getting hurt 3 plays later, but he said he was hurt 3 plays earlier, and then also that Luther Burden had whatever amount of touches it was at that point.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said he had 2 targets and 1 catch in the first half. How is that possible?
On television,
Get the ball to him.
They were doing a bunch of replays of his routes, and he would be matched up one-on-one, and then they would bring the safety, whichever safety he was on his side, and they would trail him once he got to about 10 yards. The safety would then double him. And so in that case, I would say jet sweep, shorter routes. Let's just get the ball in his hand. But they were doubling him anytime he was out in space.
Mm-hmm. Well, you would expect that when he's running downfield.
Right.
But that's why you have to be creative and find other ways
to get
the ball in the hands of your best playmaker.
I think it's what led to the fumbled punt. I think he was getting frustrated they couldn't make plays and was like, I'm going to do it. Give me the ball in my hands. I'm going to do it. And
your thoughts are welcome. Schaefer Door Company text inbox 314-881-TMA5. And you're welcome to call in the Collier and Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA. Email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email. The day Munganast is a sponsor, the 7 o'clock hour online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. And you can call or text the number for our listeners, 314-252-0029. If you're in the market for a new car or a pre-owned vehicle, go ahead and go online and go shopping at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. Whether you're looking to buy or lease, work with great Jamie Burkhardt, Peter Munganast, and then in the service department, Ryan Seiberg. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Doug, you know anything about Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of the text inbox?
First thing I know how to do is spell it. Schaefer, S-C-H-A-E-F-E-R. It's important that you know that because there are other businesses out there named Schaefer, but they spell it different. S-C-H-A-E-F-E-R Door Company. Here we are Monday morning. I hope your garage door worked. If it didn't, Schaefer Door has that special Monday morning standby services for those doors that break over the weekend for whatever reason. That seems to be when most of them break. Schaefer Door is there at the ready waiting for your call if you need to get your car out of the garage. It's happened to me before. You call Schaefer Door at 636-782-3608, and they will be right out there and get you taken care of. Doesn't matter if it's just a residential door, one of the small doors you might have at home, or one of those big, giant warehouse doors. Schaefer is experienced in all types of jobs. They service all kinds of doors for service and new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and versatile. If you've got a LiftMaster, mister, you've got yourself a very good garage door opener. That's why Schaefer Door can service anything that you've got. Their service techs are not commission-based, so if you have some minor problem, they're not going to try to sell you the whole door. They'll just get you taken care of. That's what they did with me. They just gave me a strut. They gave me a strut, and my garage door worked perfectly after that. That's Schaefer Door. The website is schaeferdoor.com. The number again, 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
If you are in the market for a new home, if you are in the market to sell your home, how about this, Doug? JEFFLOTTMANN Yeah, that's Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty. And they have Compass Concierge. With Compass Concierge, you can take your home buying or selling experience to the next level. Whether you're preparing to sell or want to enhance your new space, Compass Concierge has you covered. No upfront costs, need fresh paint, new carpet, light renovations, home staging. Compass Concierge has you covered. Unlock exclusive benefits, get your home market ready without upfront costs, increase your home's value hassle-free. Ready to elevate your real estate experience? Contact Jeff Lotman today at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's Jeff Lotman of Compass Realty, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. All right, just load up the phone lines now, just like the Colonel's voicemails. Callier and Thompson phone line, 636-9004-TMA. Text in, Schaefer Door Company, text inbox, 314-881-TMA5, and email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. The YouTube chat is active and Bill Reloaded. Jackson, your favorite guy, just said, Drew Pine ain't it.
No, he was not. He wasn't very
Bill Reloaded, Doug.
He was really slow too. Like he rolled out and he was quite slow. Like he has no mobility, and he's a little short. That was not fun.
No. It was fun in Champaign though.
Big time. That was cool.
Illinois beating Michigan 21-7. I was watching an Michigan postgame show, and the host, and I don't know if he's like the colonel of Michigan. I would imagine there's probably multiple colonels of Michigan. And this guy was saying this might be the worst team they've had. This goes back to the Brady Cook, Rich Rodriguez era, Sharon Moore in over his head. I'd be shocked if he's the head coach in 2020. I'll say 2026. I think he'll be gone. And that's just a mess. But
Curt Cignetti will be getting a phone call.
I think Curt Cignetti, I don't think they'd fire more after this year.
No.
I don't know if Cignetti, anyway, Cignetti will certainly be desirable. But, Illinois has got a win in Lincoln. They played very respectably against Penn State and Happy Valley. And they got the overtime win against Purdue and now a win against Michigan. And now they have Eugene, Oregon, 21-7 ILL with one loss. And they will have a chance to put themselves in a big-time spot if they can shock the world as 21.5-point underdogs on Saturday.
Well, hopefully they can. It's nice to see Illinois put together a good team because there haven't been a lot over the years. They've struggled mostly over the last couple of decades. So it's nice to see them have a decent team here. And wear those uniforms, please.
You want them to wear those?
I do. Rest of the season.
You'll have Oregon's uniforms and Illinois bringing those things back on?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
They played great.
Did you see what, I guess it was CBS, did with their pregame show on that? It was in black and white, and the announcers in the booth were wearing fedoras with the little press credential. And they cut to the girl on the sideline, and she was wearing what they would wear in the 1920s. Yeah. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah.
Really great.
I loved the little thing about the helmets and how it took 2 hours to make each individual helmet. It's like 100 players on the team.
Really?
Yeah. Because they're each individually airbrushed and stenciled. It wasn't like a decal. No.
Huh.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they just played. They controlled that game.
Yes.
Top to bottom.
It was domination. That's a game that that could have been way more than the 21-7. Not going to argue about 21-7. Keep in mind, Illinois wound up. That number kept going up. At least I was seeing up. I don't know what it kicked off at, but in the morning. So people were making moves on Michigan, and I just don't know how. But Illinois, they win this weekend. You take a look at their schedule. And, they're in the Big Ten championship game. Listen, this is different than it used to be with college football because I don't know if there is a game in the SEC that the outcome could really shock you at this point. I know Mississippi State gets crapped on, but Mississippi State has had 3 straight tough games. They had Texas, they had Georgia, and they had A&M this weekend. And I think they covered against all 3. I know they covered the last 2, and I think they covered against Texas in Austin. It's just a different world now in college football. It really is like NFL. And you look at what Illinois has. They have Minnesota and Champaign. Minnesota beat USC, but USC just lost to Maryland. They have Michigan State and Champaign, Rutgers started off hot. They've fallen off. That's in New Jersey. And then they finish off at Northwestern. I mean, if they were to beat Oregon, and listen, I think even Illinois fans would acknowledge that isn't exactly likely. I don't know who would expect to go to Oregon and win. But if you can somehow do it, and keep in mind, Oregon had issues against Idaho and Boise State at home this year. You absolutely are in control of your destiny. And at that point, with a win at Oregon, then 10-2 with losses against Penn State at Happy Valley, and I don't know what the other good loss would be considering the remaining schedule, they could be more alive. The issue for Missouri at 10-2 is what win is going to be glamorous, because the best case scenario, if it's against Alabama, you've beaten a 3-loss Alabama team. Oregon's the one big time anyway undefeated team. I know there's some other undefeateds. Miami's out there. I don't think people hold Miami in the same esteem as Oregon. Maybe they do. Maybe they should be. Penn State, but I don't think people hold. I loved seeing Georgia move ahead Penn State. I think it kind of shows you where things are. If you're going to value wins versus Penn State, what are they? I mean, what's their best win? I guess Illinois at this point, because USC certainly doesn't have the cachet. Pitt's undefeated. Miami's undefeated. Army, Navy, and Iowa State. I'm BYU. Missing, I love my BYU play.
That was a great game Friday night
against Oklahoma State. But I mean, you ask me who I think is going to play in the college football playoff. I could see anybody. I'd go, I think probably Georgia and Ohio State. But, I mean, there's a good chance that neither one are in there.
Yeah, this is the thing with the Big Ten having 18 teams, is they have 5 teams vying for a spot in the college football playoff, very live. And because some of them don't play each other, a lot of them don't play each other, it's like total, the Big Ten just has so many big dogs. As we see right now, like Penn State kind of hasn't been tested yet, really, but they play Ohio State in a couple weeks, so they'll be tested.
2 of the teams that the Big Ten picked up from the Pac-12 that you figured might be a factor, USC and UCLA, are really struggling. Both are 1-4.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley's got a live situation.
Yeah, they losing to Maryland. That was bad. That was a bad loss. That was not good.
Yeah, things turn around in a hurry.
Too. Yeah. Colorado looked good Saturday.
Who'd they beat?
Sounded right.
I forgot. I watched the game. I forgot who they played. They looked good.
Played Arizona.
Penn State is at Wisconsin, a night game, by the way. Keep an eye on that one.
Is that
Camp Randall at night?
Yeah, jump around.
Camp Randall at night. You always say Camp Randall at night.
Yeah, I just repeat that over and over again. I don't really know what it means or what the significance of it is, but for some reason I just keep saying Camp Randall at night.
On November 2nd, Penn State hosts Ohio State.
And the parity is so awesome right now in college football. Where
it's even better than,
it's every game is like, even, Purdue Oregon was not really much of a game, but it's not like Purdue was, they did a little sniffing. Oregon was running that game, but like they're really outside of a handful of games each weekend. Everything else is pretty close, or you at least goes into it with a single-digit spread.
And it's great locally because both teams, again, I don't think, like if you had even hardcore Missouri fans and hardcore Illinois fans, and Illinois is in a different spot than Missouri because Illinois is kind of free-rolling, didn't expect this year. Missouri had the expectations. I don't think deep down either hardcore fan really looks at it and goes, oh, these are one of the 12 best teams in the country. But entering the final weekend of college football against 2, storied programs on the road, both have a shot. It's a shame they're both at the same time. That sucks. But hopefully, at least one of them's in the game. And, if you can be live going into November, that's a hell of an accomplishment because I think the sports world has been captivated by the excitement that is college football. You're hard-pressed to find a time slot in which you don't have an incredible game going on.
I really had it all wrong because I thought with the transfer portal and with NIL, I thought the rich would keep getting richer. I thought star players at mediocre programs would say, I'm going to Alabama, I'm going to Michigan, or I'm going to USC to join them. And in fact, apparently what's happened is the really good players who weren't playing at those blue blood programs have moved to other teams so they can play, and it's helped with parity immensely.
Yeah.
Because we've seen teams, Alabama's certainly come back to the pack. Other perennial powerhouses like Michigan and USC aren't very good at all. It's really kind of had the opposite effect. I think it's been great.
I think it's because the second stringers who knew they weren't going to get playing time but are obviously great players go, okay, I'm going to leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
and those guys can clearly play. So it has absolutely changed the game. So I sit here and I look at Illinois' schedule and I go, if this were 2021 or 2022, Illinois is most likely going 4-1. But in this current atmosphere, I mean, how can you predict anything with any semblance of certainty? I mean, so often in college football, I felt like growing up in the 80s and 90s in particular, but then even when Saban got to Alabama, that you knew who the best team was or the best two teams, and they were in another world, you know? I mean, for real. I think we could all make a pick on who is going to play in the college football playoff championship, and I don't even know if we would get one team right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think of how big a disservice it would be to this year's college football to have a 4-team playoff. You know, like think how wrong that would be. How many teams are so deserving as we see it right now? I mean, so much can change. Last week, everyone would have said Texas is the no doubt national champion, and Georgia didn't run through them, but they played really well in Austin. And the parity is so cool, and you need 12 teams, maybe even more. Who knows?
Well, it'd be tough to add more than 12 because you'd have to add yet another week of playoffs, I guess. And now you're probably playing into February.
You can do the 16, and it's the same weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a 16, not like a massive expansion, but 16.
My guess is that is what will happen. All right, we do have audio that Jackson prepared for the record, not like the WNBA audio, and just a huge mistake. I'll be wearing that one forever. All right, Jackson, what do we got here? What do you think is the best? What direction we got? We got ILL, we got the Fighting Tigers, we got Gabe's post-game show. Doug, we've got it all.
It seems like you do.
I really liked Brady Cook's on-field interview following the game.
Okay.
Back out, your team down 2 scores. How did you pull off this win?
I don't know. I really don't. You know, that second quarter, you know, I sat in silence and we were figuring out what we had to figure out. And I came back and I just knew we weren't going to lose this game. Not on homecoming, not today, not like this. We weren't going to lose.
You're emotional. What brings you to tears?
Oh, I am emotional. I am. You know, Mizzou means so much to me. You know, the first 6 games, you know, they haven't gone the way I wish they would have in a lot of ways. And to come out here the first drive and get hurt and to be down, to think I'm not going to come back in the game and then find a way. And we just manifested. We get it done. We fight, and we win. It's just, I'm emotional right now.
How were you able to fight and get back into this game?
You know, shout out to our trainers. But I've played through stuff before. I've been through adversity before, physically, emotionally, mentally. This isn't anything new. It's just another step.
What did you learn about your team today?
I learned that we're going to fight. I learned that my energy, my leadership means something to them. I learned that for sure when I came out in the third quarter. And I learned that they're always going to fight.
Congratulations, Brady.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You ought to thank the chemist that gave him whatever shot it was.
Yeah, what do you think it was?
Probably a cortisone shot.
Boy, cortisone doesn't usually work like that, I don't think.
Well, I'm just reading about it. It says
I've gotten them.
They can help with a variety of conditions, including arthritis, lower back pain, carpal tunnel, bursitis. They're often the first line of treatment for joint pain.
I think he got the good stuff.
That is pretty good stuff.
I think he got a painkiller of some sort.
Well, that's what cortisone. I walked in once to a doctor's office. Didn't walk in. Was strolled in a wheelchair with a swollen ankle. I didn't even know what I did. I hyperextended it. I couldn't walk. My doctor gave me a cortisone shot in the knee, and I walked out of there 20 minutes later like nothing had ever happened to my knee. Yeah. It was that dramatic. It really was. I don't know for sure that that's what he got. I just know it's been my experience that a cortisone shot can reduce inflammation and have you feeling better almost immediately.
Yeah, I mean, he said in the post game that they tried everything, and then it got to a point where they said, go ahead and just get dressed because it's not going to happen. And then they're like, oh, we'll try one more thing. So I would imagine cortisone was probably one of the first ones.
I would think.
And so whatever the last thing was, it worked magic. All right, so Brady Cook was on with Frank Cusimano. That's an NIL deal on KSDK. And Jackson, how about this? He got a text after the game. Frank asked him what his most surprising text was, and here's what he said.
Oh, okay.
How many texts and which one meant the most to you? You got a great story about one of these texts?
A lot of text. One surprising text that I got was actually from Peyton Manning. He texted me last night. He said, "What a gutsy performance. Great job. Keep it up." That was one that stuck out. I wasn't expecting a text from Peyton. And then, really just the countless texts from family, friends, people back home, people in Columbia that I know. And, it's always fun to take those moments in when they happen.
Yeah, that's
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, not bad.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I'm sure Peyton Manning didn't just have his number. He had to contact a few people to get his number. So.
Didn't he go to Peyton Manning's camps as a kid?
That could be the case.
I thought I saw where he went to all those camps.
I still wouldn't think Peyton would have everybody's phone number from those camps.
He probably had his parents' number. So, what's your kid's number?
Yeah, he may have.
Or he's Peyton Manning. I'm sure he could call Mizzou and say, "Hey, I need a number."
That's what I'm saying. So he had to go make a little effort just to make the text at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't think I've ever been texted by a celebrity of that ilk.
Yeah, but Walter Payton danced with you.
Yeah, I do have that under my belt. That was nice.
Grabbing your belt.
Yeah. Well, he grabbed the photographer's belt. He didn't try to undress me.
Brett Bielema on the field following the win over the Wolverines.
Jenny's with Coach Bielema.
Coach, congratulations. You said it was going to take 365 days to prepare for a game like this against Michigan, and you just won. How rewarding is this one?
Very fulfilling. A lot of people made this happen, not just our AD and administration, the university, our team, our roster. I'm excited for this one. That makes next week even bigger.
What do you take away from a game like this?
Well, I think our guys know how to prepare. We actually say you don't need to do anything special in a week. You just got to prepare 365 days a year for this, and that's what they did. I just thought our guys responded to every situation.
What message did you just send to this country about Illinois football?
We're a 6-1 team. We try to get 1-0 every week. This is a really fun team to be around. Excited to see the next one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Had the cheerleaders right in there doing the interview with him.
Place was packed. I love Brett Bielema.
He seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, I really like Brett
down-to-earth,
Bielema.
normal type of guy.
Yeah, kind of guy you happy representing your school.
Doug, what percentage would you give combined? Now, we're putting them both together here.
Oh.
Both Missouri and Illinois to win this weekend.
Both of them winning. 5%.
Jackson.
I'll say 3%. I think Oregon, Dylan Gabriel started to play really well again. Obviously, Mizzou going to Bama is a huge question mark, but Oregon's starting to look a lot better. And if they can win this game, it's kind of wide open for them to roll through the rest of the year. Because they got Michigan at the Big House the week after, but we saw what Michigan is.
Hey.
Well, you never say 0% because anything can happen, so I'll go 1%.
I will go with 7%. 7%, Doug.
Okay.
It'd be wonderful. God, wouldn't that be great? Because both then at that point are top 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
and both have a control their own destiny clear
at
road.
that point, absolutely. Missouri doesn't have a clear. Illinois' road would be clearer than Missouri's.
Yeah.
I think Missouri's going to play Illinois for the national championship.
That's where you arrived.
Yeah.
I'll go BYU against Georgia.
It'd be a fun game.
That's what they're dying for.
I mean, it'd be exciting because if they beat Alabama, you look at the rest of their schedule, say this team has a legitimate shot at getting in.
Yeah, but they're destined. They're destined to South Carolina, Arkansas. Both those teams are looking to ruin someone's life. I thought Arkansas was going to do it against LSU this week.
I was surprised by that.
They beat the hell out of them.
I was surprised by that. Maybe LSU's got it going now.
It's just the SEC now, man. You can go out against Tennessee and look great if you're Alabama or Arkansas, I should say, and then LSU the next week or 2 weeks later and not look great at all. Ask Kentucky about that.
No, I don't want to ask them.
Mark Stoops is going to join us at 8, so you're going to have to ask him.
Then, okay.
Gabe will be with us at 9. He is brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. You can send in your questions for the Colonel. Design Air is the official HVAC provider of TMA. Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. Send your emails in for our Design Air email of the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Seth Goldcamp and his staff will take wonderful care of you like they've taken care of us for years on this program. Seth's fourth generation. His great-grandfather started the business. No upselling. That's what they pride themselves on. They're going to fix it. They're going to take care of it, and off you go. Everything is good. And at some point, Doug, I would imagine cool temperatures are going to arrive here in the St. Louis area. But guess what?
Not for
you
a
look at the
while.
forecast, high of 80 tomorrow, and a week from tomorrow, high of 77.
I see that.
I mean, and it's just nothing but sun. There's zero precipitation. Now, this is on my phone. Yeah. Maybe this isn't accurate. I don't know, but that's what I see.
Yeah, I could use a little bit of rain. I'm trying to grow some tall fescue out here and not having much luck. I don't want to water 2-3 times a day.
You're going to have to.
Just a little bit of drizzle every now and then.
There's no precipitation.
This fescue is thirsty. But I'm not complaining because there's nothing better than mid-70s and sunny.
Approved.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mizzou will beat Bama, and the country will decide Bama is actually bad, and Mizzou will drop out of the top 25. That's from William Howard Tuft. Guys, the number is 4%. It's 4%. 40% chance Mizzou beats Alabama, and a 10% chance Illinois beats Oregon. I don't mind. There's a goose outside's math, actually. I think that probably is actually.
I think 40% chance of beating Alabama may be a bit optimistic.
Yeah, to me, it's Brady Cook's. That's why I would. I mean, listen, if I had to bet it, I would bet big time on Alabama minus 13.5 because I just think Brady Cook is inevitably, he's on one leg, and I don't know how he is going to. But if he can be healthy, then maybe this thing launches him. There's no way in the world I'm going to bet it because I don't want to be sitting there polling for Alabama. But, God, that strikes me as if I could make any of the 4 bets, and that would be Missouri in the points, Alabama laying the points, Illinois in the points, Oregon laying the points, I would take Alabama and I would lay the points. So do with that what you want. But I'm the same person who said I loved Missouri against A&M and I loved the over on Texas and Georgia. So if anything, Doug, I give you the wrong plays, and then you take the opposite and you get paid.
You beat me in the pick'em.
Sports.
You beat me in the pick'em this week.
Well, I don't even know what games we picked.
The good ones, all the good ones were last week.
Well, did I have a good record?
You were 500 because we pushed on that Mizzou.
Yeah, listen to 2 morons pick games and one guy goes 500 and wins.
Yeah, we pushed on that Mizzou one because we had it at 4.
I had a 5-game parlay, Doug. Missouri minus 3.5. Great backdoor cover. Tribute to Matt Kuchar. Had Indiana over. Loved the Hoosiers because that was only at 49, and I thought Cignetti would make sure to put points up if he could, and he did. Had Mississippi State against A&M. Loved that. Thought there'd be a lot of prisoners of the moment who don't really know about Mississippi State taking A&M based on the Missouri game. And the one that blew me up was LSU against Arkansas. I had Arkansas.
Home hogs.
God damn. I really was surprised by that. Yeah. And then the over on Georgia and Texas, in which I was at Flat Branch enjoying dinner when the fans in Austin started throwing things on the field, and then that led to them overturning the call.
What the hell was that?
Bizarre thing.
That was unbelievable.
If you get really mad, we'll give you what you want.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was crazy that all of that happened.
And yet, I think they got the call right.
That doesn't matter because it was absolutely taking away was the right call.
It's the precedent. It says
you can't review that, and you can't just sit around waiting to clear the debris off the field, and then some ref goes, "Hey, I think it actually wasn't." Now that I've watched the replay on this jumbotron 5 times, that was BS. Yeah. Kirby was going nuts, and rightfully so.
What is the rules on this now? I mean, you don't even have to challenge anymore. You just kind of. Hey, let's take a look at that. Maybe
they challenge every turnover and scoring.
Maybe we missed it.
Every turnover and scoring.
But it took them that long?
Well,
they didn't overturn it until all the bottles came out.
Well, you can't review pass interference. That's what the hullabaloo is about. Is that you can't review pass interference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then how can you overturn it? Because it wasn't a challengeable call, and you don't. It wasn't a turnover. I mean, it was, but it was a pass interference call. You can a turnover. You have to say, did he catch the ball? Was he out of bounds? Did he have the ball? That, but not if it was a pass interference call.
Yeah, it was totally mishandled by the refs. Totally mishandled.
Even Kirby Smart said, well, that's the president. You don't like your call, just go ahead and throw stuff on the field and they'll change it.
I wish just in general Zebra would put his flag away a little bit more. There's so many penalties called, especially in the NFL.
NFL is
Lord.
way worse. Yeah.
Every Alabama game had
play.
32 penalties in it, I think.
I know. I guess it's on the players who just don't respect the rules, and they're going to grab somebody. If they're going to get beat on a pass, you might as well grab them, take the pass interference, and let them get a touchdown. I just wish they'd let them play a little bit, especially on the lines. I mean, there's so much going on the pass rushing. There's so many arms hooking players. Just maybe let it go a little bit more than they do.
307 friends of the Feather gathered in the YouTube chat. The college football talk really gets big numbers on Mondays, I've noticed. You can watch the program, youtube.com/TMASTL. That is the TMA YouTube channel. You can participate by texting into the Schaefer Door Company text inbox. You can call in, Callier and Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA, and email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. Let's see what we got here. Doug, you want to hear from the Colonel's callers?
Okay, sure. I'd like to hear that.
It's not the greatest compilation.
There were some good ones. The TMA listeners are clearly getting in there. I was driving back from Columbia straight to Oakville, Illinois yesterday. In nonstop, 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Gabe?
They listened to the Colonel. The Colonel didn't carry all. I think I listened to 3 different college football podcasts. Listened to Kerper's podcast this morning on the Blues win over the Hurricanes. Here is the Jackson supercut of the Colonel's callers.
No, I'd like to hear it.
Get Freeway Jarrett's comment up. I never want to hear you faithless swine in the comments talk about bringing in the backup ever again. That's my quarterback. All right, let's keep going.
Brady Cook for Heisman, Hugh Freeze for president, Mizzou for the playoffs. MIZ, baby.
All right, let's do the next one.
Hi, Gabe. I just wanted to say I love the uniforms today. I hated the first half, but I love the way they came back in the second half. And we are going to the playoffs.
Okay, we'll see.
Don't ever want to see another post on this board talking down on Brady Cook ever again for the rest of my life. He gets it done. He's a goddamn winner. We're still alive. Everything's still out there. And Brady is back. Trillionaire Grind said, you know what Brady Cook was doing in the locker room? Reading the board, reading the haters' post.
What is
All right,
this?
there's the energy we're looking for out of Trillionaire Grind set, right?
Here's a
You
problem.
don't have Gabe?
I know, Tiger Terry.
That was the highlight. And then there was a guy talking about making out with his wife's dad.
Damn it. I try to get everything, but there's
You must not have listened to it.
not live, but I
Okay.
watched it. I was getting all of it this morning.
The
I
two
was
best calls were
chopping
at the
through.
end
Oh,
when
I
the
messed
TMA
up.
listeners absolutely infiltrated it. The Colonel actually enjoyed it.
Was that the end?
Yeah.
I'll find it.
Final,
I'll
like
find
5,
it in the break.
10
I'll
minutes.
find it in the break. Tiger Terry, I love the Gabe, but he's sticking it up so hard. Talking about his meemaw. So, but yes, I want to find the one about the wife's father. That's must listen to text.
Colonel with us at 9 o'clock.
He called in to Gabe to ask about his father-in-law?
I don't know. I have to find the.
And he played it. He must have thought it was funny.
Sean, the producer, played it.
Oh, because they pick and choose what they can play, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian Henson's not happy that we don't have Tiger Terry. Boy, how about those Colts, though?
Yeah. Boy, those Colts. Those Colts are so exciting that I don't have any idea what happened to them on Sunday. I don't pay attention much to the Colts.
I think Anthony Richardson's hurt again.
Is he?
Guys, I'm 1,000% sure that Hugh Freeze call was Gangster Pete. That's from Mr. Licks. You think that was Gangster Pete?
Well, he wasn't in tears. Gangster Pete is so emotional.
Shocker that Jackson pays more attention to WNBA audio than the audio we actually care about.
Kiss my ass, bro.
Hey,
I cut
come on.
17 effing audio clips.
Yeah, we got an audio
You know, it's like I can't.
smorgasbord, Doug.
It's an hour and 15-minute post-game show. I'm trying to find all the heat. I'm doing my best. We've heard Tiger Terry. I think he's bidding it up. And you know what? I'll find the clip about the wife's father, and it's all going to be okay. And I didn't even cut the WNBA clip.
Get mad at us. You got anything with the Colts? Anything there with the Colts?
No. Drew Lock replaced the doo-doo man, and I thought that was great.
Commanders look awfully good.
Jaden Daniels, bro.
Gosh.
You got hurt.
He did, yeah, but Marcus Mariota came in and played well.
Yeah, but guess who bet on them first half? This guy. What? Panthers. Kidding me?
I think Aaron Rodgers is thinking, what was I thinking?
Well, he was thinking I could probably use another $25 million.
Yeah, but he could have went someplace that had a decent team.
Yeah.
And he got his favorite receiver back and still got beat by 30, 25, whatever they lost by.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, Jackson, do you have that audio yet that we wanted so badly and didn't get earlier?
He said he'd cut it up at the break. Why don't you leave him alone?
My gosh, it just seems like it's so good, and to not have it is really disappointing.
Gabe.
Doug is the world's greatest instigator.
Pot sir?
Yeah, he's the king of it. I'm trying to find him. Reading the comments of all these.
Okay. That's the problem. Where are you? YouTube chat or text inbox?
No, I'm not looking at the YouTube chat or the text inbox. I'm on Gabe's postgame trying to find where these people are like, who Tiger Terry sucks. Yeah. And so that's where I know where
You just assume they don't like Tiger Terry? Why would you assume that?
Oh, he talks like he talks. Gabe. Meanwhile,
what percentage would you give that he's a TMA guy? I didn't think so until I heard the whole call, and I'm like, okay, this guy's...
Hasn't Tiger Terry emailed in?
To this show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you never know if it's just like a guy saying he's Tiger Terry.
Right. Jackson, check your email.
Check my email?
Audio clip.
Okay.
Oh, you got something, Chairman?
Tiger Terry.
Oh, nicely done, Chairman.
God bless.
Well,
standing by.
At least Kurt could find it.
Yeah, here it goes.
Okay. All right, we should have it now. Let's go ahead and hit the lever, please. We don't have it. We don't have it.
He's got to save it.
No,
okay,
I got it. All right.
All right.
Here you go, Doug.
Boy, I hope it's good. All right, go ahead and hit the lever now.
Yeah, it's not the right.
Gabe, Tiger Terry. I'm about fed up with this team and this fan base whining. We was living high on the hog in the summer with our fancy preseason ranking and our recruits, but we ain't backed it up a lick. And we're just trying to put this year's nuts in last year's jockstrap. And, brother, let me tell you, there's plenty of room to spare. I hear people whine about the refs. They whine about what time we on TV. They whine about the standings. Oh, we played Vandy close and slid 6 spots in the polls. Tennessee lost to Archie and barely fell. It's not fair. Life ain't fair, Gabe. Is it fair that my Mimo got diabetes and got her toe cut off? Is it fair that Brian Kelly has to ask his wife's boyfriend to get seconds for pudding at when they go get dinner at the Ponderosa? No, it sure ain't. As my uncle Teeter used to say, fair don't come to town but once a year. And this fan base and this team needs to look itself in the mirror and realize the best way to get treated fair is the polls by the TV networks and our peers is not to whine but to win. W-I-N. Until we do that, any whiner is going to be on the fighting side of me. That's about it. Fight Tiger.
Fight Tiger, Doug.
Nice bit of wisdom there. A lot of wisdom being dispensed.
Guy wrote down his take and read it.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to fight someone who doesn't like it. Fair comes but once a year.
You like that? I think you like that.
I kept waiting for when that once a year is. Like maybe there's another
I think the
sentence.
fair is what he's saying.
Oh, the county fair.
Right.
What was his uncle's name?
Peter.
Peter?
Teeter.
Peter North Teeter.
Teeter.
Wasn't Teeter? Isn't Michael Landon's daughter Teeter on Yellowstone? Am I right on that?
I just don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure on that.
Okay.
Which one is she?
Pink hair.
Oh, okay.
Michael Landon was on Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. And Victor French.
Jennifer Landon. She played Teeter.
Nice. Huge win.
So, geez, he would be, gosh, he'd probably be 80. He's no longer with us.
He passed. He passed like 35 years ago.
So his daughter must be middle-aged, 50 or so.
He'd be older than 80, I think.
60?
We'll talk Jennifer Landon on Balloon Party.
Yeah, it was unprepared for that conversation.
It's part of the weekend wrap-up.
Mm-hmm.
Coming your way.
So the big question we're trying to answer right now is how old is Michael Landon's daughter? I'm not ready for this.
41.
Okay.
You got your answer. Now you're ready.
Good. Okay.
She looked much younger.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have Chelsea Handler tomorrow at 8:30.
How about that, Doug?
Okay.
People that are wondering.
Who would have been wondering?
I think Friday some guy said there's no way you're getting her on. Quit promoting it. So for that guy.
Yeah. So he's getting his comeuppance.
The Kansas City Gray Sexual says, hey guys, Jackson really did crack 29 days ago. Eric from the Central West End was the one who did it. That chair will do it to you. Godspeed. That's in the Kansas City Gray Sexual.
I'll be all right.
Well, it got other men. Producer Joe left to park cars. Producer Pete left to, I think he's got a sanitation truck in the city. Non-gay quit in a huff. I don't think he was in a huff, but he quit to
He made the mistake of going to law school.
Like going to law school.
Thank you.
What did I do wrong? Like, we
job.
played the audio. What's the problem?
I don't know.
Kansas City Gray Sexual call it.
And I didn't want it.
You know.
After, I'm trying to think of who it would have been. It was before Pete.
I'm not sure what we're talking about right now.
Producers.
Sea Monster.
Well, there was nobody between Sea Monster and Pete?
You?
No.
No, because, I did it until he found somebody. They asked me, do you want it? I said, no. Then I got pissed off. I said, yeah, if you want to pay me what you pay Sea Monster, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
No, you keep your same salary. I said, well, I'm not doing it.
Okay. Well, so you weren't broken like the other men before you.
Well, I get broken more, probably doing this, but...
Licks is furious. Thank God for KG. Nice to have a producer who isn't so far up China's ass that he eats their food instead of watching the Blues opener. And good job, Biggie. You landed a washed-up comedian, your specialty. Mr. Licks, not delighted with today.
Shut your little whore mouth.
I didn't really line anybody up. They asked me if we wanted her, and I just sent an email.
Art Sears.
Yeah, Art Sears.
Sharon and Clayton. Guys, did you see Jeter walk off the set when the Mets mascots arrived and then last night called his colleagues teenagers and kids? I never knew he had such a stick up his ass. Get over yourself. That's from Sharon and Clayton.
Did not see that.
And I was not even aware. You saw it, Jackson? You were watching?
I saw the Mr. Met thing. I didn't make anything of it.
Meet the Mets. Was that pregame, I guess?
Postgame.
Who was he calling a teenager?
I don't know
His
that
colleagues?
part. All I can speak
Ortiz
about is
and
the Mr.
A-Rod
Met part.
and who was hosting it? Burkhardt wasn't, because he was in Santa Clara with the 49ers.
I remember just A-Rod and Poppy is all I remember on there. I mean, there was another guy. I don't know who it was, though. And he just got up when Mr. Met sat down. I didn't make anything of it, but I guess we got to get some narratives going.
I didn't see that. I did see Tommy Edmonds, now the best player in the National League.
NLCS MVP.
Mm-hmm. 11 RBIs.
I don't think I said NLCS MVP. I think I said World Series MVP. I got to tell you, I know it sounds ridiculous because this is a perfect time to do the thing where you condemn the Cardinals once you have the results.
Mm-hmm.
I still like the trade. I really do. I get why they made the trade. So I'll take all your crap at 314-881-TMA5.
Yeah.
But I remember saying, I think the morning he can go be World Series MVP, and I get why they made the trade. I like the trade.
I understand why they make the trade. I don't like how it's turned out. I don't think Eric Fetty's.
Well, the Cardinals are likely not going to be competitive next year. But, of course, we don't have the benefit of knowing how it's going to turn out in the moment. And that was a trade that had damn near 100% approval. I don't know if I've seen something as well received as that trade. I don't know since when. And that's what I actually remember saying. I said, the thing that scares me about the trade is how it's universally being applauded. I would imagine, I don't get a chance to look at social media as much as I'd like, but I would imagine there's a lot of revisionist history now going on.
Well, if they trade everybody they want to trade, Fetty may be your number one next year.
I think it's more frustration over how all these guys just seem to blossom when they leave here.
What's it going to be like when Luke Weaver strikes out Tommy Edman to win the World Series? But Tommy Edman played so well, he still is the World Series MVP.
It's going to hurt. It's got to speak to the culture here that so many of them. Here's another one. I don't think
it speaks to culture so much as player development and ability to get guys to maximize their abilities. I mean, at this point, it's well past sample size.
Yeah, he's been around for several years now in the major leagues. It must be the way they're prepared before the game. I don't know if it's video coaching they're getting or a tip here and there from a hitting coach or what it is. Because isn't he like the third ex-Cardinal to be the MVP of the league championship series?
Edgar Renteria, I'm pretty sure, was either World Series MVP or an LCS MVP.
But I'm thinking of Rosalita and Garcia, both.
Oh, is that right? Both of them last year? Or Rosalita in 20?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is the first World Series since 16 with the Cubs and Indians that I am fired up to watch. This is great. This is why I bitch about the postseason format, because usually the best teams get blown up. And in this case, you both got through, and you have Ohtani and Judge and all of the other. I mean, it's not like there's a bunch of randoms surrounding them. This is outstanding. And I'm sure some won't like it because of the New York and L.A. thing, but Dodgers and Yankees, two best teams, heads up. I hope it's a great series. I hope somebody didn't run away with it. I mean, I don't have a rooting interest. I just want to see exciting baseball. For as, the Mets were able to get that thing to 6 games, it was kind of weird because the scores of the games were, quite a bit of discrepancy.
Yeah. Dodgers are pretty much out of starting pitching.
Yeah.
So they're giving up a lot of runs.
Yeah,
and that's
and against that Yankees lineup in that ballpark.
Yeah. And the 3 big guys are all hot. Soto and Stanton and Judge. Good luck. Good luck pitching.
So you're on the, it sounds like you're on the pinstripes.
I think the Yankees.
First time in 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Who's favored, do you know?
Dodgers get home field advantage. I think that's certainly.
I think the Yankees will eat up that Dodger pitching, though.
Wow. You're rarely giving bold predictions, but you're on that. Let me see if I can give you a MLB World Series prices. The Dodgers are minus 125, Doug. So if you really like the Yankees, you put $100 down, you win 105.
That's not enough to win, to put down.
Well, you can bet more than that.
Jackson bet $12.
Yep, $12 American dollars for Brady Cook.
American dollars.
Okay, well, maybe I'll bet $12. I'm not betting 100.
All for Brady. My quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you won 13.
See, that's not enough for me to risk that money.
And there's cool storyline, like, obviously the Dodgers won in 2020, but many would say that that's a funky World Series, to be kind about it. So they kind of have a way to right that. And then the Yankees haven't won in 15 years. Now, that wouldn't be much for other teams, but for the New York Yankees, not winning in 15 years is a problem. So,
well, they had a big drought, right, in between. I don't know what the last year they won because I don't do anything before 1982, but they played the Dodgers in 81, and they didn't win a World Series until 96, so that was a pretty big drought for them then. I would assume. When?
And after the Cardinals beat them in the 64 World Series, the Yankees just fell apart for a long time. I mean, they were really bad for a long time.
Yeah. But modern Yankees, like, since they won, had the late 90s dynasty there.
Yeah, they've been the best team going over the last 2 decades or so, three decades maybe.
Yeah, probably. We've got 3 decades because the Red Sox have a claim in the last 2.
Giants have won 3.
Yeah.
Doug, I'm going to give you when the Yankees won the World Series. 78. So they had a 18-year drought in between 78 and 86.
They beat the Dodgers in that one too? Was that a Dodger series? 78?
That was the Dodgers.
Garvey?
They won 4-2. That was probably, was that Reggie Jackson 3-yard works?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The last against Charlie Huffer, Bert Hooten won. I forget.
Chelsea Handler, did you also book Howard Stern and Rachel Maddow? That's from Eric in the Central West End. Not happy with is Chelsea Handler political at this moment?
Yes,
she is. Is she?
She won't talk politics. It's one of those things.
Which one is it?
Well, in her most of her act, she does.
Yeah, but I didn't know because normally Art Sears would say, "All right, you got her. Give me the information." But I guess he said St. Louis wants to do it. Her PR people emailed me and said, "Just give us a few questions you're going to ask her." And I said, just basic stuff. We'll ask her what we can expect of the show, what she's got coming up, and does things like politics and P. Diddy.
P.
Diddy and politics, does that kind of put her in a direction what she wants to talk about? And they said, no, she just wants to promote her show and Chelsea Handler Live, just no politics, no P. Diddy. Yeah. It's fine with us.
Are there controversial takes with P. Diddy?
I don't know, just everybody seems to have an opinion about it. Did you ever go to a party at P. Diddy's?
No. Oh, you're asking her, not me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
I was never invited, thankfully.
So they said no P. Diddy, no politics. I said, it's fine with us.
No P. Diddy.
I mean, I don't have any questions prepared.
Do you ever think we'd get to a place in this country where all P. Diddy questions are off the table?
Cut him off! He's doing the Diddy thing again!
Oh.
What's the Diddy thing?
I don't know.
God almighty. I don't remember talking that much about him.
What's the Diddy thing? I don't know.
There's no Diddy thing, I don't believe.
We're sitting here again talking about the same thing.
What same thing? I don't remember talking Diddy.
No, we're not going to either when she comes on. We'll put big signs up around the studio. No Diddy chatter.
Just cancel it. She sucks. No one cares what she has to say. I'd rather have Stingray calling. That's from Maxwell Hung. So he's not looking forward to it. I didn't know that this would be so poorly received.
Yeah, I thought she was still popular. I don't know. I wouldn't put her in the Kathy Griffin category where she can't sell any tickets.
No.
But she is coming
Bill
on.
Reloaded says, I could have gone apple picking down in Lewisburg and cider.
Well, she is coming on to promote the show, so maybe she is having trouble selling them. I don't know.
All she does is talk politics. It's from the 314.
Well, she's not tomorrow.
What if she does?
Well, it's up to her.
Okay.
I feel kind of bad because I know Learn is a huge fan.
Oh, gosh.
Why
would that make you feel bad?
Nah, because I'm sure she'd love to interview her. Maybe I'll see if Learn wants to step in here for 10 minutes and take my spot.
Okay.
Okay, gaslight girl boss gatekeep.
You think Learn's going to leave the show she's on to come in here and ask Chelsea Handler some questions? Hopefully not about P. Diddy.
I don't know. She might. I'm stepping out for 10 minutes. I'm going to interview Chelsea Handler on the morning show and come back. Maybe they take a break at 8:30 and she comes back at 8:40.
Here's a compliment. Love me some Chelsea. Nice job, Iggs. Concord Caulk.
Thank you. I didn't do much. I just answered an email.
Thank you, Art Sears.
You booked Janine Garofalo for Wednesday. That's from the Birthday Hawk. Janine Garofalo.
I dig her. I always found her attractive.
You dig her.
She's a cute little thing.
That's 1970s talk.
Is she a lesbian?
I don't know.
Not that it matters. I'm just curious because I like her. As far as would love to go out with her, but she's a lesbian. She wants no interest in me.
Yeah, that's what's going to stop this whole situation.
You thought you might actually have a shot with her?
I don't know. She looks kind of plain, down to earth.
Wow.
So the answer is yes. You think you have a shot with her?
Might date a normal guy, not a celebrity.
She was once married to a gentleman, Bob Cohen.
Bobby Cohen, Doug.
Yeah.
Canadian comedy writer. But that marriage, the union was dissolved in 2012.
Okay.
So as far as I know, she is hetero and available, Iggs.
Give her a call.
Yeah, you absolutely have a shot with her.
Listening to Chelsea Handler is like being stuck in an Uber with a driver who won't stop telling you about their gluten-free diet. Painful, unnecessary, and you can't wait for it to end, Doug. That's from Mr. Licks.
Okay.
I got in an Uber in Columbia Saturday night. What time was that?
I don't have any idea.
11:30.
10 o'clock. And we were going to get an Uber with the other people we were with, and it was supposed to be whatever the Uber is that you can fit 6 people
XL?
in. I believe so.
Yeah.
And it rolls up, and it looks like a Ford Fiesta from like 88. So since they were going back to the same hotel, I just said, hey, you guys go. We'll get our own. So we waited. The Uber pulls up. And, we're in Columbia, right in front of Flat Branch, right in front of the place I used to live. I lived in the building directly to the north of Flat Branch, for those of you familiar with Columbia geography. And the gentleman, as he pulls up, he goes, do you mind a dog in the car? I'm like, at this point, I've been drinking for 12 hours. I don't give a damn what's in the car. It doesn't matter. Well, it turns out that he has pictures of the dog and tiaras all over the vehicle.
Oh, God.
And, fortunately, when my wife is with me, she handles this kind of nonsense while I just sit there and scroll TikTok and hope Ella Reese posted something other than a hiking Instagram. And so I'm ignoring the conversation, as you might be surprised to hear. Now you can bring Miss Lily up from the back and pet her if you want to.
Yeah.
And my wife politely declines and goes, but might get a lot of his hair on you.
No.
And then begins to tell us about Miss Lily and the pictures and the tiara. And I guess it was kind of like Best in Show come to life, if you remember that film.
What kind of dog was this?
I don't recall. I don't know my dogs. What you hate dogs, don't you, Jackson? Is that
Yeah,
you
not a fan.
No.
Plowhawk would be your Plowhawk
What kind of guy hates dogs?
That doesn't play well in 101, I can tell you.
I just don't like dogs.
Gosh, because you were bitten as a youngster.
Yeah, basically. Did this guy put on a feather boa and start playing Goodbye Horses in the car and start tucking?
Oh,
Start tucking.
Buffalo Bob?
Yeah, Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
Buffalo Bill.
Well, he's driving. He's tucking.
He could have been tucking.
The Buffalo Bill is a dog.
So the dog did not get in the back seat with you.
The dog was like it was like a Mercury Mountaineer or something like that. I don't remember what they were.
Hot start.
I just wanted to get back to the incredible Wingate Hotel.
And this driver thought he was being very entertaining and a real card.
I mean, what a situation. Yeah. But I got a chance to see my house. Doug, I know you love hitting my house. You get bottle service.
Yeah, when my son was a student there, I went a couple times.
And I ran into a billion people I knew when I was there. And we didn't go inside of it because we went there right after the game. And my phone was dying, and I'd been told that they would have charging stations, and I'm like, then I'm in. And we just wound up hanging out outside the whole time. But my God, that thing is huge. The outside parking lot. I mean, inside, I don't know. I haven't been in there.
It's packed. Yeah, imagine the money they must make.
Oh, my goodness. Why don't we open up in my house?
We should.
The back is like this giant patio area that in the summer in Columbia was the best place.
Yeah, that's what we were standing right there. Well, I sent you the picture.
Yeah, the backyard.
That's where we were standing, like that alley. And I just sat there and hung out, God, I don't know, 5-6 hours. It was great entertainment.
Perfect day for
it was
hanging
glorious.
out.
Just a phenomenal weekend.
My son was dating a girl who handled the bottle service for
Sparklers.
A while. She was making about $1,000 a night.
Yeah.
God bless America.
Rake it in, especially on like homecoming. Like if you were a bottles girl this weekend at my house, you probably are rolling in it.
I bet.
Because the booths are so expensive for homecoming, and people book them months in advance. It's wild.
So why don't we get little party dresses and put them on and make money doing bottle service?
Yeah, we're boy sluts.
I think we would do great.
I guarantee we would do great. Yeah. A lot of guys want to bang us.
Oh.
It's hot.
Want to deliver the drink.
I was scolded by 21, 22-year-old on Friday night.
For what reason?
So, I mean, I don't know if I have the same nostalgia. I love going. It's so easy to get there now from what it feels like it used to be. Although I think it took 3.5 hours on Friday because there was a wreck on 70. But it's easy to get back to and from, usually without the traffic. But my wife gets caught up in the nostalgia, and having worked at Willie's as a waitress, she worked there with Hey K. Adams, and I know I've said it 5,000 times, she wanted to go back to Willie's after we went to dinner, and there's a line, and everybody around us is half my age. And then we, I patiently sit through this thing. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning, get to the front of the line, and I guess it's like Fast Pass at Disney World. There's one line where you have like a Fast Pass, and then there's the other line on the other side of it for like the people who don't have it. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, okay, they're like, oh, you don't have the bracelet, you got to go into this line. And then some guy goes, no, you guys can go in. I'm certain that wasn't because of me. And they go, it's $40 a person.
Oh.
Which, I mean, whatever. I get it. Hey, God bless. Supply and demand. Make it while you can, because that's not going to be the case in 3 nights. I get it. But I don't carry cash.
Right.
And so I'm standing there, and I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I need $80. I'm going to give somebody, as a college student, $100 via Venmo, and then get $80. So I'm trying to set that up. And the 21 or 2-year-old goes, hey, man, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is great. This is like Twitter come to life.
Some kid's going to push you right in the chest.
And I go, I'm trying to get some cash. He goes, man, you can't stand here tonight. And I go, all right, fair enough. I said to my wife, I was going to try to humor you with this nonsense, but I gotta shut her down. I can't, I just don't carry cash. But God bless. Now in my house, same deal, $80 cover, 40 and 40. But they took credit.
Yeah. No Van Wilder 80? There to push you around.
40 and 40, yeah. Yeah, that's what it would have been at Willie's. It was just they were taking cash.
$40 to walk into my house?
That's right.
Saturday night, I bet it was $100.
It was $40 to walk into Willie's.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was cash. I didn't have cash.
I bet Saturday night at 10:30, it was $100 to get into Willie's.
God bless. Sublime
and all
demand.
these college kids have that
money?
No,
but their
a lot
parents.
Of it's alumni. Yeah, man. Wow, what a situation.
The parents have the money.
We were watching from afar the kids in line at my house with the parents, and they're just like, it's like cuck situation. They're like berating the parents. I'm like, what happened?
Oh yeah.
And this is my generation at this point, I guess. I mean, I guess my age range would probably be more high school, but I have a couple friends who have kids in college, and I'm going, Well, I'll tell you. I don't know, but I know Tim Sr. wouldn't have put up with that crap if I would have pulled that off.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, my God. What in the hell was, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
What is this?
It's a lack of respect from the
But I don't know. I don't know where the hell. I mean, hey.
Well, it's the everybody gets a trophy generation now as they're getting older. It's they expect to get what they
Jackson,
want.
fight back. I know you disagree with it.
Well, who raised them?
Oh yeah, it's the fault of my generation, no doubt, for raising a generation.
I wonder how that came to fruition. If in fact this is true. I mean, I happen to see and my wife was pointing out. She goes, look at this girl, and here's her dad. You know, this is like the biggest thing for him because his daughter's in school and he's in line, and she's just like screaming. Because he doesn't have enough money for her to do something.
Oh yeah,
yeah. What in the hell is this?
Yeah, that part is very real. Parents
I don't understand.
Alumni weekends or homecoming or dad's weekend, they get cucked. They go in line. They're buying rounds for some guy who's sleeping with her daughter's friend. It's a whole thing, and they're buying bombs left and right. Next thing you know, the guy puts down $800 for on his credit card. And yep, that's the.
Can a dad be a simp?
Clip that off.
I would say yes.
He could be
say a lot.
I believe I witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's I've seen it, and sometimes you can be the beneficiary of it if you're in college and someone's dad's buying drinks. It's kind of nice, but other times, most of the time, it's just you feel bad for everybody involved.
But what about a normal Saturday night that's not a football weekend? What's it cost to get in these places now?
$5.
So it goes from $5 to $100.
Supply and demand, guns and butter. It's $5 or $10 some weeks, but yeah,
Don't say
$5.
guns and butter.
That's
Walter Johnson.
Yeah, it's Middlebush. I had so many classes there.
Middlebush looks exactly the same, by the way. They haven't changed it.
I had most of my classes in Middlebush.
Did you?
Yeah.
These soft Gen Z libbies are scared of little puppies now. Jesus! That's from Big Tough.
Yeah. Some of you people don't like certain people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't like dogs. Who's more in the wrong?
Yeah. We're going to yell at our parents for not coughing up more money and hate their dogs. What's happened to this country?
Real dads pay off the doorman for entry in and out of the door. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
That's what I'm saying.
I want bottle service, Daddy, and I want it now. That's from Sleeve Harry.
That's essentially what it is.
Mm-hmm. Tim, me and my dad shared the same coked up townie a couple of times on Dad's Day. It's from the recovering alcoholic.
Coked up townie. The townies don't go to my house, do they?
Yeah, oh, sure.
They do?
Everyone goes to my house. My house, Willie's, Harpo's, Big 12, probably all packed to the gills, probably all $50 to get in on Saturday. It's Columbia homecoming.
Gosh, I can't imagine.
That's where they make their bones. That's where they make their bones.
Make a lot of it.
Oh, I bet. God, I'd love to know what the ring is on that.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
I'm feeling my house did better just because Willie's was having the cash situation. I wonder how much that was stuffed into pockets.
Could you Venmo, did they have a QR code for Venmoing at my house?
They just took credit card.
Okay. Oh, okay, gotcha.
But at Willie's, it was just cash, and I'm going... I mean, what is this, like 1995?
Oh, I know.
If
That was always
then I would have been in a good spot.
That was always the hardest thing about going out.
And I'm thinking, for the ownership of Willie's, I'm like, hey, you don't know any better because you're not going to be collecting all of this money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to skim. But it was always tough going out in Columbia because you had to hit the ATM before you went. It's not like you had an ATM at the fraternity house or your apartment, so you had to go hit the ATM to get $20 so you could get cash to pay the cover.
I guess they don't want to pay the 3% to the credit card company.
Maybe.
I'm sure they lose 3% to the guy collecting all the money.
I'd be curious how much they lose on people just being like, I don't have cash, especially on bigger cover nights like Tim's talking about.
Stealing, you know.
That too.
Let's see. All right, it's 8:34. We got the Colonel coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll close out the Mug and Ass St. Louis Acura, Mug and Ass Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. This is TMA, presented to you by Brownie Crouppen.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin windows and doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Listeners ought to check out Collier & Thompson, support the sponsors, and have the best contractors in St. Louis work on your kitchen remodel, if that's what you want, or bathroom remodel, basement, wine room, whatever. Collier & Thompson does it all, and these are people that you can trust. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. That's not always that common for people in this line of work. They won a Torch Award for Ethics from the Better Business Bureau. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality. Online at collierandthompson.com.
Why Brown and Crouppen? If you hire us, you're going to get great service, you're going to get a great result. We're the winningest, and quite frankly, we're the kindest. A strong voice, an advocate. Why Brown and Crouppen? We provide a family. We have the power, the resources, and the ability to do what you need us to do, which is to get every cent that you deserve for the terrible thing that was done to you.
That's why Brown and Crouppen. The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
Thinking about selling your home, but not thrilled about going public? Check out Compass's Private Exclusives with Jeff Lotman. With Private Exclusives, your home is shown to a select group of serious buyers. No public listing, no days on market, just real offers from real people. Their network connects you with top agents and qualified buyers, so your home gets the attention it deserves without all the fuss. Selling your home can be simple and stress-free with Compass Private Exclusives because your home is special. Call Jeff Lotman, your Compass agent, today to find out more, or visit the Lotman Group online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com.
Hustle and Heart Sports Performance is the one-stop shop for St. Louis area football-specific and athletic training located in O'Fallon, Missouri. Hustle and Heart utilizes the top trainers in St. Louis, led by its owner, 8-year NFL vet Pierre Desir. We have a 40-yard turf field, college-style weight room, red light sauna, and a state-of-the-art recovery room to service all of your athletes' needs. For more info, check out hustleandheartsportsperformance.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
When it comes to coverage, you want the best, on and off the field.
Hi, I'm Marvin Burks. I'm the safety on the field, and I trust James Carlton State Farm to be my safety net off the field.
Thanks, Marvin. Whether it's a game-changing tackle or safeguarding your future, we have you covered. Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. TMA brings you the 3rd annual TMA Trivia Night, Friday, November 15th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30. All kinds of trivia, including sports, entertainment, St. Louis-centric, TMA round thrown in there too. All hosted by the guys from TMA. Get single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and cost $50 a person. Portions of the proceeds will go to St. Gabe's. Ticket includes food from Heavy Smoke Barbecue, plus beer, canned cocktails, and seltzers from Show Me Beverages while supplies last. Please drink responsibly and feel free to bring your own food and beverages too. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Butter me up, Daddy.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
I had such a satisfying wee, and I had to shoot it out real quick because we were short on time.
Oh.
You like that?
I didn't mind it, I guess.
Okay. Hey guys, it's Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour.
Hello, Fish.
TMA presented by Brown and Crouppen. Soccer weekend in St. Louis. I thought we were going to have a city text. But no, we're talking a U9 soccer dad coming on the field to punch a referee. Then said dad showed up the next day like nothing happened, was escorted away. Then on Sunday at a different game, a dad, after losing their game, approaches the winning team bench and calls the kids a bunch of sandbagging losers. The kids are 10. Then coach and dad proceed to yell at each other. Banner weekend for youth soccer in St. Louis. That's from Wes Suttery, USA Mortgage.
Any video of that?
Wes Suttery, you have any video?
Jeez. I mean, I've heard crazy stories like that.
The 10-year-olds are sandbaggers. It sounds like they got into a tournament, maybe of a certain level of team, and this team was better than he thought they should have been.
If you're ever
sandbaggers
entering the field of play as a parent during a game where your kid's not injured, much like Silvio Dante in Sopranos when he ran onto the field, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing something majorly wrong.
Very,
You're
very wrong.
really ruining your child's development. Definitely ruining their enjoyment of said sport.
Right.
And turn rear and go right back to where you came from.
And land a punch.
Yeah,
Shouldn't you be arrested for that?
I would say.
Because that's assault, right?
Yeah. I would think if you go up and strike a official of a soccer game.
Yeah. I would hope that they would press charges on that, just so that people in the future don't think that that's something that you're going to get away with.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
They're really, I guess as I rethink it, there's very few things in the world more important than a 10-year-old soccer outcome.
Good for you.
Because it's going to affect virtually everything else the rest of your life.
Amen.
It's a life changer, that whether that offsides was called or not.
How many officials did you assault while you raised 3 boys?
Half dozen or so.
And each one of them deserved it more than the
They
last.
had it coming. Yeah, you missed that strike 3 call, you're going to get punched in the snoot.
They knew not to mess with you.
I know I'm going to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I know it's coming.
I saw almost none of it through all my years. And
I also think, Greg is close to 30 now, right? He's
29.
29, yeah. So I get the sense that this is a relatively recent phenomenon, kind of like the berating of parents at clubs.
That
everybody wants what they want.
Other
right
coaches can be real snootfuls, full court pressing down 35 points.
Got to cover.
Fouling. Yeah, it's an odd world out there in the world of youth sports.
But I was involved in basketball, soccer, a tiny bit of hockey, and baseball, of course, and saw very, very few.
It's few and far
incidents
between.
between fans. Yeah. Very, very few.
Select soccer dad living vicariously through his own child is truly a sight to see. Daily Facebook updates on little Johnny's progress, what club he has moved to, and stat updates, even though the kid has a JV team ceiling. That's from Carlos Spiceweeder.
No.
Their Facebook stat tracking 8-year-olds.
I haven't seen them, but I'm sure they are.
I don't know how
They're
much
out
of
there.
I think it's called Monsters, the Menendez brothers story with Javier Bardem playing the father.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of it is true, but there's a couple of scenes where one of the kids is playing tennis and he missed a shot. And he just got up out of the stands, went onto the court, took his racket, and threw it over the fence. You suck! The coach comes out, $25,000 to you, you're fired. And he's just yelling at the coach right in the middle of the match.
Oh, God.
Now, whether that happened or not, I don't know, but that would have been embarrassing.
Sometimes they do embellish for a TV show, but he certainly had the reputation for being a totally out-of-control guy.
Can you imagine sitting in the stands and seeing that happen?
Yeah.
Took his racket and threw it over the fence into the woods.
Mm.
That's extreme.
I would say, yeah. I don't know why parents can't keep that under control, the temper.
7th grade football this Saturday. The Hoosier coach that was wearing jeans wanted to fight our coach because we won by 30. That's from Aces High.
30 in a soccer match?
Football.
Oh, thought I saw soccer.
Wanted to fight him. So you, after the final whistle, you just walk across the field and you get into the John L. Sullivan stance of punching, bare knuckle brawling, and then it's on because your team was too good.
That happened in the Saints-Falcons game. Was it last year? Where they scored late and they were already up 40-0. They scored, or 40-7. They scored 47.
Famous is famous.
The coaches went and started screaming at the other coach.
It is very bad.
For scoring late.
It's very bad form to run up a score, especially on kids.
But what if you have to cover?
That shouldn't be a factor.
Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour here on TMA. TMA is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. You're welcome to get involved in the program by calling in. Collier and Thompson phone line, 636-9004 TMA. Texting into the Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. And emailing in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, Gabe DeArmond. Coming up at 9 o'clock, presented to you by James Carlton. Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. You have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at the edfgroup.com. And what you need to do is be a friend of the Feather. Doug, Arizona State's kicking situation is problematic.
Is it?
Their head coach, you know, Kenny Dillingham. Here's what he had to say following they had some kicking issues.
All right.
But our kicking game's atrocious. So if you can kick and you're at Arizona State, email me. Right? We're going to have kicking tryouts on Monday. So bring it on. Kicking tryouts Monday. Let's go. Yeah, I'm dead serious. We're going to put it out on our social. We're going to have a kicking tryout on Monday. We got to find somebody who can make a field goal.
Well, they have like 79,000 students.
Yeah,
at Arizona State.
You're going to do it somewhere. But imagine being the kicker who probably after the game got told, yeah, you won't be playing anymore. And then you hear your coach go in the press and say, we'll take literally anybody who can make a kick.
How bad was he? What did he do to
He missed like 3 field goals in their game.
Well, they have to. I'm sure they have a soccer team, maybe even just a club team. There's got to be a handful of guys on that team that can kick.
I would say somewhere in Tempe, Arizona, they will find somebody who can kick a field goal 50 yards.
But some of it is like hitting a golf ball off the driving range as opposed to hitting it when the money's on the line.
Oh, when holes get tight?
It's a mental game because a lot of people can stand up and kick a short field goal until the game is on the line and there's 70,000 people screaming at you.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing then.
I really like Kenny Dillingham, too, so that was kind of tough because I felt really bad for their kicker. So probably some 20-year-old kid who, mentally just has been crushed by it. Because I think so much of it with college kickers is so mental. Like our friend Blake Craig, he has a hooking problem. When he misses, he hooks.
He does have a little bit of a hook going right now.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why college teams don't put more of a priority on their kicking game. A lot of them don't really recruit very much anymore, even kickers. But so many games come down to the field goals. But in this case, Craig was one of the top kickers in the country, right? He was listed like
highly touted. Yeah.
So they did make an effort to get who they thought was the best, and he looked awfully good the first couple of weeks of the season. He looked damn good.
He's 19. He's a redshirt freshman. There's Harrison Mevis obviously became who he became, but he was in his early 20s by the time he got.
Did he not
really
catch on with anybody?
Not yet, but he's, I think, working out with a couple of teams. I mean, once you're a kicker, like I talk about Jack Fox, will do high, and one of the highest paid punchers in the league. He was cut from the Chiefs and had to wait around a whole year until someone needed a punter last second, and they signed him, and now you make money. Kicking and punting, you you find your time. And Brandon McManus for the Packers just got signed like 3 days ago and nailed a game winner for the Packers.
Probably a good idea to have a good agent in that line of work.
For sure.
That agent's got to keep working the phones and making them know that you got a guy here working out ready to go.
Yeah, I'm just curious about Mevis because I forgot what team it was. Somebody
Panthers
signed a kicker where he was a Amazon driver. Hadn't kicked in a year or two. They brought him back and he was kicking for the team. And Mevis is out there. So why are you going to find a guy who's been driving for Amazon?
Well, it doesn't matter what other job they do. If you're a young guy and
he
you
hasn't
make it
kicked
the
for over
NFL,
a year and a half.
in the league, but he's probably working out all the time, practicing.
Yeah, but a guy like Mevis is there. He was on a team and got cut, so his name's out there still.
You'd think he'd be a better choice.
Doug, Jake Bates won the game yesterday for the Lions over the Vikings, and in his post-game press conference, he said, 18 months ago, I thought I was through with football. I was selling bricks in Houston. And he comes out yesterday, and he gives the Vikings their first loss to improve the Lions to 5-1.
That was a great game.
Those Lions are good.
That was a really fun game.
The Vikings are good, too.
Lions and Chiefs, collision course.
Yeah.
Should have been that way last year.
I'd
Gonna
like
get
to
it this
see
year?
that.
I'd like to see it, too.
Yeah.
Even without Aiden Hutchinson, they've looked.
I know. Yeah, you're right.
That's a major
That was
thing.
without Aiden.
They were saying it's possible he could be back late in the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought I saw something like Super Bowl maybe, but you never know.
Doug, I know one of your favorite things is Austin Mock's mock bracket from The Athletic.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Do you want to guess the...
What am I guessing?
The bracket. What number one seed?
The entire bracket for the NFL playoffs, I got to guess?
No.
College basketball.
No.
What bracket are we talking about?
College football.
Oh, college football. Okay.
This is Austin Mock, and he runs the numbers for The Athletic.
Okay. Can I at least look at the rankings to get a better idea of who's up there now?
Lock in, though.
So which bracket would you like me to predict?
The CFP.
Yeah, I mean, I
mean, all 12 teams?
Of course. What do you think this is?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. How about Oregon?
Yes, that's number one.
Iowa State.
Well, they would have a bye, likely.
Oregon's going to get a bye.
We got Oregon, number one seed. That's right.
Okay.
Who's number two seed?
Ohio State. Georgia.
No.
Penn State.
No.
I don't know!
Impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. They're all in the Big Ten, don't you know?
Oh,
Texas.
No.
I give up.
Miami.
Yes!
Okay. There you go.
Look at you. Here we go. All right, now we need a 3 seed.
I hate this guy who does this. What's his name?
He's going to join us tomorrow. He's with Chelsea
Drives
Handel.
me nuts.
You got to be on together.
Let's wait. We're halfway through the season. Let's wait to do it later. We don't know what's going to happen. What are you, some sort of sage?
You have to think the third team is an SEC team.
I don't have to think anything.
Yeah, but I'd like you to.
How about Texas?
No.
Georgia.
Yes!
Okay.
See, you don't have to hate Austin Mock.
I'm not fond of him.
I smell a Big 12 team at 4.
Okay, Big 12 team at 4. Penn State.
No.
Not in the Big 12.
Got it. Ohio State.
Not in the Big 12.
Oh, Big 12. Did you say Big 12?
I was just asking who's in
BYU.
what conference. Can you get that?
Big 12. Iowa State.
Yes!
Okay.
Matt Campbell, what a job he's done.
Darn it.
Barn burner with UCF.
Exhausting.
Now
Okay,
it's yours
At
choice.
least we're done, though.
I find myself going, God, Iowa State frauds, while I'm cheering for Missouri, fighting for their lives against Vanderbilt and Auburn.
Everyone's a fraud, and everyone's great at the same time.
Now you can start throwing all your teams in you already picked.
Yeah, you got the 4 buys.
All right, throw those in. We'll have it done.
Ohio State 5.
Yeah.
Penn State 6.
I believe I mentioned them.
7 is Texas.
Yeah, said that word.
The 8-9 matchup, we've seen a lot of it. Notre Dame and Clemson.
Okay.
Got Irish at 8. 10, Indiana.
Nice.
Traveling to Austin, Texas. 11, Tennessee taking on Penn State. And 12, Boise State. Big game this weekend with Barry Odom.
G5.
UNLV.
Did you mention Georgia?
Yeah.
Georgia's 3.
3, okay. They know Alabama?
Alabama's out.
Okay.
K-State, Alabama, UNLV, SMU, and LSU are the teams on the bubble per Austin Mock. Doug, he's got Missouri at 21, which is actually much higher than he's usually had them.
We're not even, that's what they're ranked right now. Right?
And they drop a couple spots?
Yeah.
2 spots.
They dropped 2 to 21.
Yeah, are Missouri fans upset about the rankings? I don't know. I'm talking about like a couple, like what are they, Mizzou Nationalists?
The Tiger Nationalists are using. They're like, once again, they beat a team and they drop. But I think dropping at below Illinois is fair.
I guess it's good stuff if you need to like do something and fill time or write columns and that deal. But it just doesn't matter in both Missouri and Illinois' cases. The only way that they're getting in is winning out. I just don't see another way around it.
I think it's odd that Ole Miss is ranked above both of them. Certainly ranked above Illinois. I think that's weird with 2 losses. But I mean, the rankings don't matter.
What's Ole Miss's best win? And I might be missing an obvious one.
They beat
the hell out of South Carolina and Columbia.
That's their best win
then. Austin Mock has them at 22, so that shows why Austin Mock is so good, Doug.
Yeah, I don't care for Austin Mock. I never really have.
Can I ask, before the playoffs, the rankings mattered because they went at the end of the year.
Got Illinois 25, by the way.
They went at the end of the year. They went coaches poll, AP poll, and whatever. There were times, didn't they have a co-national champions when one voted one and the other one voted the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But why even have the ranking? What does it mean?
Put a little thing next to the score bug and brit some asses in seats. Number 2 playing number 3, and number 1 playing number 4.
I guess, but in the scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
No, it's just a fun thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. It's something that most people can get worked up about, either good or bad. But I mean, hey, man, I'm a Missouri fan, but I got an obligation to say what I see, and I don't know how anybody would be going, yeah. I mean, if Missouri were to play anybody, and that's this thing, I think Missouri could go 6-6. For real. And I don't say that.
We're going to bowls around here.
I did see
bowl
that.
Bound.
My wife took a picture when they put up on the scoreboard bowl bound and texted it to me right next to me just to like, I got a text from you. What is this? Bowl bound. Great.
Didn't Greg once have a shirt on at the press conference that said bowl?
I would hope that was like sponsored by Booches or something. God almighty. You imagine if Kalen DeVore showed up in a bowl-bound shirt?
After next week?
God almighty. They'd run him out.
Yeah, they're already hot and bothered about old Kalen DeVore.
You don't want to replace the legend. Be the next guy.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Replace the legend.
And they were writing prose following the Georgia win. And oof. I mean, for real, he could have lost all 3 since then. Because they lost to Vanderbilt and they lost to Tennessee. But the South Carolina one was hanging in the balance.
Nick Saban is now on every other commercial I watch on college football. He's all
He does
over the
a
place.
hell of a job on game day.
I like him a lot on game day.
I was surprised to hear him say that he had to get the guys up for the Auburn game, but the Tennessee game was the one that they took the most seriously as their rival. 3rd Saturday in October. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, he said he had a tough time getting them up to play Auburn, but Tennessee was the one that they considered their real rival. When he was there, I mean, I realized the Iron Bowl goes way back.
I'm surprised you have to even get college players up to play a game. When you're at that age...
Wait till you see Oklahoma this weekend.
But when you run onto a field with 70,000 screaming people, I can't imagine the adrenaline level being any higher, no matter who you're playing.
I agree with that part. I do agree with that part, actually. What I think, and I noticed this from the body language of the Auburn players, and again, since I was at the game, I don't know what was being shown on television, and I haven't rewatched it, but I saw the body language of the Auburn players, and it was like, oh, God, here we go again. Because they had lead against Oklahoma in the 4th quarter, lead against Arkansas in the 4th quarter. I don't know if they had a lead against Cal or not. They were lurking against Georgia, down 7-3 late in the first half in Athens the previous week. They just were like, here we go again. And I believe they are 1-6 or 1-7 since the start of 2023 in one-score games, whereas Missouri is, I think, has 1 loss, I think.
Yeah, yep, I believe that to be the case. I saw that. They put that on the game during the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. So bringing up what you, or responding to what you brought up, Doug, I think when it gets away from you after the start, then you're just like, here we go again, screw this. And I think what you're going to see, this is I don't think a real bold prediction, it strikes me as obvious, but I don't know if it's been talked about a whole lot. You're going to see some guys in November just go, that'll do it, I'm done. Because we're out of the college football playoff. We had that aspiration. And so some of these teams that might be big brand names, like Oklahoma, like Michigan, but have some high-caliber talent that might be looking at the NFL, I'm like, okay, that'll wrap it up. Now, I don't know what the NIL deals call for, But I think that's what you're going to have happen because the bowl stuff, I don't think many people really were into them anyway. Now they're even lessened in their value. So if you're not one of the top 12 teams or playing to get into the top 12, I'll be intrigued to see what some of these programs, like a Florida State, for example. And by the way, I love Miami minus 21 this weekend against Florida State. How things progress in November with guys going, that'll do it, I'm done. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe they won't, but that's what I wonder. For guys who have NFL aspirations.
I guess. You can see at the first sign of adversity when it looks like they're going to lose a game, then how people could get down. I mean, that's just human nature.
Like, what, South Carolina was up 21-0 or 21-3 on Oklahoma in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they were working.
In Norman.
Right. They were working them.
Norman Conquest.
77-0, 73-0.
Something like that.
All right, Dave's going to join us on the other side of the break. The 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance. Hey, text in, Schaefer Door Company, text inbox 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text in to our program. Schaefer Door, if your garage door spring broke over the weekend, they have spots available right now as we speak. They set them aside at schaeferdoor.com, SCHAEFER door.com. Call or text 636-782-3608. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installs. And they have this Monday morning standby service for those doors that break over the weekend. They service commercial doors as well. So if you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in these types of jobs. Go to schaeferdoor.com, SCHAEFER door.com, or call or text 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door, a Clopay master authorized dealer. We'll close out our 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Fisher Window and Door. 9 o'clock hour, brought to you by 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance. Gabe Yarman, presented to you by James Carlton, and the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, all coming your way in the 9 o'clock hour here on TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Craving a fiesta for your taste buds? Welcome to Rosalita's Cantina, your ultimate Tex-Mex getaway. Indulge in their mouth-watering tacos, queso-smothered burritos, and the best chips and salsa imaginable. Dine in on their beautiful patio, majestic bar, elegant dining hall, or grab it to go. And don't forget to check out their location at Enterprise Center. No game or concert is complete without nachos and a margarita. Rosalita's Cantina, where the sunshine never ends. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
Why Brown & Crouppen? If you hire us, you're going to get great service, you're going to get a great result. We're the winningest, and quite frankly, we're the kindest.
The strong voice, an advocate.
Why Brown & Crouppen? We provide a family. We have the power, the resources, and the ability to do what you need us to do, which is to get every cent that you deserve for the terrible thing that was done to you.
That's why Brown & Crouppen. The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Billiken Nation, this is your head coach, Josh Schertz. We want everyone to know SLU is for the Lou, so get your full season tickets now for as low as $125 or experience the excitement up close with 100-level seats for $540 by visiting SLUBillikens.com today. The 24-25 home schedule is a competitive one, with many teams picking at the top of their respective leagues. Pack Chaffetz Arena to show the nation SLU is for the Lou. Buy your tickets now by visiting SLUBillikens.com.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center. a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
Listeners ought to check out Collier & Thompson, support the sponsors, and have the best contractors in St. Louis work on your kitchen remodel, if that's what you want, or bathroom remodel, basement, wine room, whatever. Collier & Thompson does it all, and these are people that you can trust. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. That's not always that common for people in this line of work. They won a Torch Award for Ethics from the Better Business Bureau. Collier & Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Collier & Thompson, come home to quality, online at collierandthompson.com.
This is wide receiver Luther Burton III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burton III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hannon with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA all day.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
A song called Missouri, which I wrote. There is a state which I live.
Doug, Hugh Freeze is hearing this in his nightmare.
Yeah, he's not liking it either.
Someone's fault.
He took a whooping. He took a real whooping.
Really?
He limped all the way back to Auburn.
To the Plains. Hey, it's the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour here. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin, Vaughn Jackson, Bennett Burkett. James Carlton's right here in the studio, too.
Good morning. Did you guys see Brian Harsin doing a nice troll job over the weekend?
Oh, I did not.
Oh, yeah. He retweeted Brady Cook's postgame and just said the heart and the team and blah, blah, blah. Clearly, just like Dan Mullen did when Florida lost recently.
Trolling initially carried a negative connotation, but now it's celebrated.
Yeah, you're a star.
I don't get.
If you really trash somebody, you're a hero.
I just don't. I don't know. Whatever. Didn't really impact my life, but I just kind of just a little observation. Do with it what you will. James is here because the Colonel is on, and James is a sponsor of the Colonel every Monday at 9 o'clock here on TMA, and the Colonel joins us right now on the Collier and Thompson phone lines here on TMA, which is brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. Morning, Colonel.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know. Fine.
You're not excited about this big win?
Fight Tiger.
No, it was a fun game. Well, it was actually kind of a terrible game.
It really was. Then the fourth quarter or third and fourth quarter were the best.
Yeah. Once Brady Cook, Willis Reed out of the tunnel and everything took off, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, a bunch of Missouri fans are making this observation. You've dealt with Brady Cook. I don't even know if he's ever been on the program, but either way, that was a signature moment. And I was listening to your post-game shows. I was driving back from Columbia yesterday, And I think that this is something, Doug, you would probably agree with too in all of our careers. You don't necessarily root for teams per se. We all kind of came up before like fans started covering teams, which now is the way that the industry works since there isn't as much money in it. But you do get to know people, and you'll root for people who you get to know. Mm-hmm. And that was what Saturday was about. And you talked about that on your post-game show, because no matter what, Brady Cook will always have that moment on Saturday, and that was something to behold, albeit against a very pedestrian/bad team, but down 17-3, comes back, they're 17-6, and he leads them down the field 95 yards. That is a moment that is Brady Cook's in Tiger history.
Well, and two things about that. I mean, everybody said, well, we only beat a bad team 21-17. Well, your quarterback played a quarter in a series. He was on the field for 5 series, and you got 17 points. I fully believe if Brady Cook plays that whole game the way he was playing, I think Missouri wins by 3 touchdowns. I think they had to be 21-17 because they played 3 quarters with a guy that they just didn't really trust to do much more than, hand the ball off and just don't get us beat, which he did a fine job of that, but they didn't have the guy that could really operate their system. And I've been accused a lot of being Brady's father or agent or husband or a number of different things over the last 2 years, because I've said, that he has gotten far too much of the criticism when it has not gone well. I mean, even last year when they were 11-2, a lot of people said, well, with a different quarterback, we're 13-0 because he threw the picks at the end of LSU and Georgia. And I've just always thought that was completely unfair. And look, if biased for a kid is the term people want to use, that's fine. But I just tend to, you root for the kids you get to know that, stand up there and answer the questions, and that do it thoughtfully, and that try to make your job doing this a little bit easier. And Brady's always done that. Honestly, he's done it since he was a junior in high school. And I talked to him for the first time back the day he got his Missouri offer at a recruiting camp. And so, yeah, you root for kids like that. And if that means maybe I will defend him against some of the criticism that I think I think some of it's been fair, but I think a lot of it has been incredibly unfair, then I'll wear that. And I'm most impressed with the fact that he has never done what I probably would have done at some point, and what Eli Drinkwitz has done at some point, and is basically stand at that podium and give everybody the double bird and then say, what do you think of me now? Because I absolutely would have done it when I was 20 years old, and his coach has done it, and he never has. I mean, I think it's fascinating that he was asked after Saturday, when you came out of the tunnel, did you expect the fans to cheer? And, it's a legitimate question. I don't blame the kid that asked the question, because it makes some sense with the way he's been treated, I think, this year. And, there's a lot of you get blowback anytime you say this. Well, it's like that everywhere. Fans can absolutely say what they want. But I see a lot of people get their feelings hurt that Eli Drinkwitz has pointed it out, and my take has always been similar to on my message board. You are absolutely welcome to come at me and tell me what you think and that I do a terrible job. And I am 100% the same welcome to defend myself against that.
Gabe, good morning. I've been a self-admitted Brady Cook apologist, but watch this cable news spin job I'm going to do on Drew Pine, okay? Just to be a Drew Pine apologist here. His first drive, they missed a field goal. Second drive, Jordan Harris had the worst drop of the year on 3rd down. Third drive, Marcus Carroll fumbles. And the 4th drive, they missed a field goal. I mean, he wasn't as bad as I think this picture everybody's painting. Like, oh my God, Mizzou just went off the rails when he came in.
I thought he was awful, James.
But I mean, look at every one of those. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he went off the rails, and I think that was his job. Just don't let it go off the rails. But that said, he was 10 of 21. He averaged less than 4 yards an attempt. They never got particularly close to scoring a touchdown. If that is your starting quarterback, you're going to have to win games 12-9. And he did his job on Saturday. But I think it also put on full display how limited Missouri would be if that's the guy that's that's taking every snap for the last 5 weeks.
As far as Brady Cook goes again, I don't think anybody could possibly question his toughness based on the way we've seen him play the last couple of years. I'm fascinated on the medical team, what they got done, and as quickly as they did it. Do you know more about how that whole situation went down, how they got him to the hospital? I guess they used the one across the street. Got a quick MRI. That usually takes 20 or 30 minutes. Shot him up with something, cortisone, I don't know what, and still got him back in time to play. That was pretty quick turnaround.
Well, it was funny when we were covering games at Missouri. Like, I had people from national places and stuff texting me, "Hey, what's going on with Brady Cook?" And I just said, "I promise you're going to know before we do." Like, we get zero updates in the press box. We get our updates from TV and from Chris Trevino on the radio broadcast. That's the only way we ever know what's going on with interviews. So, with injuries, people are telling us after the first 20 minutes, "Hey, he's getting his ankle retaped and he's going to try to come back in." Well, it got to be about 40 minutes, late second quarter, and I just started saying, "Hey, guys, something more than that is going on. If all they're doing is retaping his ankle and he's going to try it again, he'd be out here. That doesn't take 45 minutes. And so we didn't know until after the game, obviously, that he went over to the hospital. He said somebody drove him in a pickup truck, and it had, just regular windows, not tinted windows. So they're literally driving through the parking lots with tailgaters and stuff that are looking and seeing Brady Cook riding in this truck, probably going, what in the hell's going on? I mean, I'm not sure they care if they're tailgating in the second quarter anyway. I'm not sure it's top of mind what's happening in the game for them. But got him over there, did an MRI, got him back, worked him out in the indoor facility. And like he said a number of times, my pads were off. I didn't think I was coming back in. And then he said, and then we tried one last ditch thing, and it worked. And, he was laughing. He knows what the thing is. He knows we know what the thing is. He's just not going to say out loud, "Hey, I got a shot of something." Whatever that shot may be, I don't know what was in it, but it worked. He got back out there, and it was amazing. I mean, within 2 plays, you're going, hang on. Not only does he look better than he did in the first quarter, he looks better than he did against Vanderbilt. This is the best I've seen him move all season, with one leg. So whatever he got, I'm going to look into that every morning when I get out of bed.
We could all use a shot of that somewhere.
Yeah, that was something to behold, the way he came out there. With that established, one of the things that I think is being talked about, and understandably so, is could this be the game that then shoots Missouri up to being able to play the way that it was thought that they would be able to play at the start of the season, and we really haven't seen much of throughout the course of the year. And I think that's possible. It's kind of like your best case, worst case column last week. I think that's possible. What I'm concerned about for this Saturday, Gabe, is how he is actually going to be able to, if we talk realistically, function on whatever injury it is, and if and when it gets re-injured, and we now saw what we have from the standpoint of the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I think best case scenario, you're talking he's got a high ankle sprain, right? I watched, Mahomes had that last year. He did it, I want to say, last regular season game, first playoff game, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly. But, the next week he came out and looked, clearly he was getting the same things Brady was, but he was limited, right? And the problem with that injury is the only way it's totally getting better is if you walk around in a boot for 4 to 6 weeks. That's it. So every time you go out there, I mean, Mahomes re-injured it 2 or 3 times in the playoffs. And it's like when you do it, it's as bad as it was the first time again. It's just like you're back to square one. Now, look, unless they tell Brady we're cutting your leg off, I think he's going to play. He's going to say, give me everything you need to give me. That kid will spend every hour of this week in the training facility and all that. So I think he will go out there. But, yes, it could happen again. Really, if it happens again, I mean, we were talking about this a little bit. If that's a road game on Saturday, where you can't just drive to the university hospital 20 minutes away and go, I know you got a bunch of people here, but this is our starting quarterback, get him taken care of. Can he get back in the game? I mean, if that happens at Alabama, do they have the ability and the resources to get him back in the game. I don't know the answer to that, and it's probably something I'll actually ask Drinkwitz tomorrow, how important it was that this was a home game and you have a hospital right across the street. You know, you're not having to drive 15 minutes or anything like that. So, his health is a question going forward, but I fully expect that he will go out there and give them whatever he can give them. And I think this staff and this head coach have shown they believe whatever percentage Brady's going to be at, whether that's 60, 80, 95, whatever, they think that's better than 100% of everybody else on this.
Yeah, and I think now the fan base is clearly seen that now that you got a couple quarters of Drew Pine. But my issue, I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind he's going to do everything he can to play, and I expect him to be out there on Saturday at 2:30. What I'm concerned about is the Alabama defense probably going through the Missouri interior line, which has been the weak spot. Auburn was able to get through on that and re-injuring it. I guess the one thing I would say, though, Gabe, is I doubt we're going to see a whole lot of Brady Cook called run plays. He was scrambling in the fourth quarter, and he had to, but I don't know if we're going to see a lot more called
I don't know,
run plays.
guys. They ran it on the 2 point.
And I was about to say, though, we did see the 2-point conversion.
Like, I mean, I've been saying for 3 weeks, please stop doing this. It's not working. Literally, the only design run play that works with him is that fake pitch to Luther Burden, and then he runs up and it works every single time.
I think it might have 100% work, completion percentage.
Yeah, they get like 5-6 yards out of that every single time they run it. First down, touchdown, whatever they're looking for. So fine, feel free to do that, but like the play he got hurt on, I thought it was a quarterback draw. Some people thought he was running to avoid pressure. I thought that was a designed quarterback draw. Whatever it is, that play hasn't worked all year. And then they did it again 2 plays later, and that was the one where he just kind of collapsed and didn't have anything left. So, ankle or not, I would prefer to see them stop calling the designed runs for him because they just haven't been successful this year.
Gabe, looking forward to Saturday's game. I think you and I are on the same page. If it's 4th and 5 or less and they're on Bama's side of the field, are you going for it every time? I mean, I'm losing so much confidence in their kicking game, and this is the type of game, you wrote about it this morning, they got to call it like it's the game of their life and be as aggressive as they've ever been. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we were talking actually during that game-winning drive on Saturday. Let's say you get down to the 20-yard line, and you've got 4th and 5, or you've got, to go try to win the game, or you've got to kick a 37-yard field goal to tie it. What are you doing? And I said, I'm going, because I would rather lose this game with my offense out there than lose it on a missed kick. And look at Blake Craig has a great leg. He's made some kicks. He may end up being a phenomenal kicker at the University of Missouri. Over 40 yards right now, it's just kind of a crapshoot, and I don't know that you can put games on something that your confidence has to be a little bit shaken in. They keep trotting them out there, but like the 56-yard field goal, I don't even understand why they attempted that one on Saturday.
And Cook wasn't the only guy who got hurt either, right? Nate Noel got banged up. Yeah. How's he,
No, Drinkwitz said after the game, so we just assumed it was back tightness again, which is what kept him on the sideline at UMass. Drinkwitz said after the game he hurt his foot in the first quarter. He said it's not broken. We don't know the severity. I would imagine both those guys are going to be listed on the injury report as questionable. Nate's had a good year, but like Marcus Carroll has run pretty well. Jamal Roberts, I was really impressed with on Saturday. I mean, he's your third down back. Hadn't really had a consequential carry this season, and he's the guy that gets the ball and runs the last 9 yards for the game-winning touchdown. So I think you can survive Noel being out, certainly, because of running back being the position that it is. But it was pretty interesting. We were told at halftime, both Brady Cook and Nate Noel, direct wording was unlikely to return with lower body injuries. And Nate Noel literally carried the ball on the first play of the third quarter, and then Brady Cook was shot out of a cannon into the stadium late in the third quarter. So apparently, those updates were relatively meaningless.
Well, what kind of a chance do you give Missouri of going to Alabama and coming away with a win?
I mean, look, it's a tough place to play. They're a good team. They are not what they've been. If there's a year I want to go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, having to win a game, this is probably it. They're more beatable than they were last time Missouri went down there in 2018, or the last couple times Alabama's come here. But they're still somewhere about 13-point underdogs. I don't know what that translates to in percentage chances, but I would guess 15, 20.
Yeah, I think I would take that.
If Cook can get through the game healthy, hey, man, you saw what South Carolina did there a couple weeks ago. They had issues against Tennessee on the road and Vanderbilt. So you're right. It's the brand. I think we're seeing a lot of that in college football this year. Locally, we talk about Illinois here. Illinois played a brand, but they're a terrible team relative to expectation. In Michigan, Oklahoma is a dumpster fire situation. And I'm not sure Alabama's in that category because they did beat Georgia, and they did go out like they did against them to start. I don't think Michigan or Oklahoma has that in their bag this year.
Well, and people forget, and I know you guys know this, but lines are not predictions. Lines are, what are we going to get kind of an equal? I mean, if the line is Alabama 6.5, even if they think, if like on a neutral field, the prediction is Alabama beats Missouri by 7 points or whatever, if the line's 6.5, like all the money's coming in on Alabama there because you don't just have the people who are studying college football every day. You have the people who are going, well, Alabama, Missouri, this is no contest. I'm betting Alabama here. And if that happens, then 85% of the money's on Alabama. And if they cover, the books take a bath. So that's how that works, too.
Reading your column this morning, Colonel, you lay out the situation in the SEC, and you come to this conclusion with all the teams that still could win 10 games in the SEC, which includes Vanderbilt, by the way. Moral of the story, I'd put the odds of getting in the playoff for Missouri at 10-2 at maybe 10% right now. There are just too many other teams that are going to be in the same neighborhood that have better wins and closer losses. If the Tigers are going to get there in all likelihood, I don't think they can lose again. I agree with you 100%. And I think Alabama fans would agree that if they were to get to 10-2, they probably get in. But it's not for sure. Different situation because they got the Georgia win, which would also mean they'd have a win at LSU. So with that established, this essentially is a playoff game for Missouri and Alabama this Saturday. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think the loser's out. And I wouldn't have said that about Missouri maybe a couple weeks ago, but you just look at everything else like they needed Alabama to beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
They needed Tennessee to take another loss because Tennessee now really should get in. They needed Nebraska to beat Indiana because Indiana is almost in a position where you're looking and going, man, that's getting more likely, right? And just the SEC has been it's balanced, but it's also very top heavy. Like they need teams in the top to lose to teams in the bottom, and Missouri's problem again. And I know that people got really mad at us all summer when everybody pointed out the schedule. If they go 10-2 and don't get in, it's because of the schedule. It's because they can go 10-2 and just not really have a very good win. I mean, there's a scenario where 10-2 and their best win is Vanderbilt, and so I think that the only way they get in at 10-2 is if they win this weekend and the other loss is like a 3-point loss at South Carolina. They would be more likely to get in then than they would if they lose this game and then go beat South Carolina. I just think you're going to need something to point to that, hey, we can stand up against top competition when you get to the end of the year because all these other teams have a win like that already or will have a win like that if they get to 10-2. And Missouri not only wouldn't have that win, one of the two games against the top 10, 15 type team was just, it was another thing that nobody has on their resume, which was a blowout loss.
South Carolina, by the way, has bye this week at home against A&M, at Vanderbilt, hosts Missouri. Doug, you always like to see teams play Wofford, so you'll enjoy that on the 23rd, and then at Clemson. Mm-hmm. So that'll be quite a November for Shane Beamer. Point being, South Carolina could wind up being 6-6 and being a damn good football team.
Really good.
You know what I mean?
I said that South Carolina-Oklahoma game, to me, you look at and go, like, the loser has a hard time making a bowl, right? And I think that's where Oklahoma's at right now. They're, I think they're 4-4 maybe. Something along those lines, but they've got Missouri, LSU, and Alabama left on the schedule.
Yeah, they're 4-3 with those
they're
left.
Straight at 5-7.
They got they're traveling to Oxford this weekend. Then they got Maine. You always like to see teams play Maine.
Black Bears.
And then at Missouri, at home against Roll Tide, at LSU. Welcome to the SEC, Brent Venables.
Yeah, and maybe not be around it.
They're not happy with Mr. Venables and Norman.
I guess the obvious question is, would you feel better about Mizzou if they stopped wearing yellow uniforms?
Oh, no. We almost were landing the plane without it.
Black helmet with a block M? Would that make you feel better?
Would feel zero different.
Oh, gosh. To me, it's important.
I think they should break out maroon uniforms.
Oh, Doug, did you like that?
No.
To see if
Send a
they
message.
can confuse Jalen Milroe into throwing them the ball a lot.
And what about the Illinois uniforms? Did you enjoy those this weekend?
Not particularly, but like it wouldn't really like dampen the win for me were I an Illinois fan.
Okay. All right. Someone's not much of a fashion guru.
No,
I guess
definitely
you know
not.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Colonel, I went to my house on Saturday after the game. I didn't see
Wait, you didn't really, did you?
I swear to you, I did. I swear to you, I did.
$40 to walk in.
You are a minimum of triple the average age.
That is the exact math of what I think. When I was looking at the line, I'm like, yeah, this is quite a situation here. Yep.
Like, because you got in, they actually let 4 12-year-olds in.
Balance it out. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Now, I did not actually go into the club proper. That's where Doug goes, and he gets bottle service. But I was on the outside, and what a scene. And I was surprised I didn't see you there. I think that's where you should do the postgame show. You and Tiger Terry.
I mean, when my kids come back home, they don't even want to go to my house.
Is this a live read?
That's where the youngins go. We don't want to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Colonel. He's brought to you by this man in the studio, James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, every Monday on TMA, every Friday on Balloon Party. The Colonel, Gabriel Petey Armand of PowerMizzou.com. You can still join, get 30% off, right? 30% off, right? I heard y'all say that on the postgame show.
Yeah, 30% off a year, month for $1, and look, we need some signups because I just cost both of you and me my house sponsorship.
Yeah, the My House sponsors is probably getting canceled. Yeah,
I don't think it's coming through.
Thank you, Gabe.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Not Gabe.
That is the Colonel.
Just doesn't care about the black helmets. I don't get it.
Well, Jackson, you like to make uniform predictions. What are you going with?
Against Bama, who famously wears white pants, I'll say they'll rock similar to what they were against Georgia last year, white helmet. White jersey, black pants.
I think that's right. Oval Tiger. I think that's it.
White helmet.
Yeah, I think I'll go white helmet because Alabama wears the red helmet, so they'll wear white helmet, white jersey.
How about a black
pants.
helmet?
Maybe.
That's what Missouri wore for 100 years.
Yeah,
Have they ever gone white helmet, white jersey, black pant?
Against Georgia last year.
Georgia last year?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. You know what Bama's going to wear as an outfit already?
Uh-oh, Doug.
They only wear one outfit.
That can't be right.
Yeah, what are they thinking?
Right to Doug's talking point.
We're actually going to be able to
Softball.
recognize the team.
Yeah.
Jeez, wouldn't want that.
And that's the only difference between Missouri and Alabama is the uniforms. It's the only thing.
Tim, the other reason you got to have some cash here on these crowded days is because I don't want to be tied down to having to close a tab. I love just paying
the cash
for the drink so I can split whenever I want.
Yeah.
I know we don't, in this society, we don't carry cash that much, but on those kind of days, it's important to have
The
some.
way that most places at this point have the credit card machines accessible, it didn't even cross my mind. And then plus, I kind of have an idea of what's going on at the door. And hey, God bless, but you know what I mean.
No.
Well, the guy's pocketing money.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. See, I just think
this is
the best
like
of
their
everybody.
big night. And hey, I get it. 21, 22. I was in a cash industry taking wagers, so I totally understand it and respect it. But
Be a nice job to have, wouldn't it?
What, taking the wagers?
No, taking the money.
Never had more money in my life.
Taking the cover charges at these bars.
Until you got to remove some drunkard. Well,
that's where you earn your keep.
But
Stone cold sober.
I bet the guy taking the money coming in isn't the same guy throwing the guy out of the bar.
No, but you got to help the last push when your other bouncers are pushing the guy out. You got to be the last straw.
That's a situation. I'm sure they deal with that almost on a weekend
I've been on
basis.
the business end of that.
Were you down there for both nights or just?
No. Just drove down Saturday morning, came back Saturday
is that right?
afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get thrown out of a lot of bars?
No, but I did bring headphones again to listen to the post game on the way back.
Tiger Terry.
I mean, the car just is like, what is wrong with this guy? He's sitting in the back seat with headphones on.
Yeah.
So where's your head at compared to this time last year going to Athens? I mean, everything's on the table.
Totally different.
But Georgia had a better team, right? So that's the difference where I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
like
Missouri had
Mizzou,
a better team.
Mizzou, yeah, but that Bama defense, not that Mizzou's offense is a world beater right now, but that Bama defense
I mean,
is suspect.
Georgia's better than Alabama was last year. I still think if Georgia and Michigan were to play 10 times, I think Georgia beats them more. But I mean, that's one of those fantasies.
Yeah.
You'll never know what would happen. Point being, Georgia lost at the wrong time. But I haven't seen it from Missouri. At the same time, if Cook can stay upright, for lack of a better term, then perhaps what took place on Saturday can launch him both from a confidence standpoint. If it in the back of his mind, he's like, God, if I don't play well, they might bring in Drew Pine. Now it's clear that's not happening. It's his job. He earned so much credibility with what he did on Saturday. And perhaps now the receivers who may not have enjoyed it as much maybe have a greater appreciation after that experience with Pine. That it could be the launching pad. It could be. Do I think it's likely? No. If I would have bet, I was saying this to my wife, who, God bless her, maybe it's because we were listening to so many damn podcasts on the way back from Columbia to Oakville yesterday. We were having a great conversation about college football. And I said, if I would have bet, and I told her the number I was going to bet on the Missouri under of win total 9.5, I would feel great about my
At this point.
I think you probably deep down agree with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But at the same time, I mean, I really feel like 11-1 is in play, and I feel like 6-6 is in play. And how many schools can say that? You know, like honestly say it. Do I expect 11-1? Absolutely not. But you know, I don't expect 6-6 either. But I could see 6-6. You know, if they can beat Alabama, God only knows. You know. Because that defense was impressive. I wanted to ask Gabe about that for the purpose of time. But I thought the defense was legitimately impressive.
Dalen Carnell,
boy, that
especially.
hit he laid on their final drive, and it was a legal hit. Holy.
I've never seen a guy roll around like that. I mean,
I
it was
felt terrible.
Yeah, I did too.
Non-helmet to helmet type hit.
That was textbook.
Wow. That's like something you see in like 1970s NFL.
Yeah, and I think someone tweeted that. It maybe Brendan Schaefer. It was like, that was the hardest one can hit without drawing a penalty I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that, and the guy like took his helmet off, was like, felt like it looked like he was choking. Like that was the scariest. Stood him up.
It was.
But he played great the entire game.
So
outstanding.
I don't expect this to happen, but I'd be really curious. If Mizzou got off to a hot start, what is the reaction from that Bama team? I'm telling you, I think there's so much heat on DeBoer right now. And I know it's Bama, they're always under heat, but I think it's at another level right now. And I'm not, just looking at that Vanderbilt game, the way those players were reacting, I'll be curious if they do, for some reason, fall to a deficit, how they react.
I agree with you. That's we were talking a little bit about it in the 8 o'clock hour. You're always up, I think, but if you get punched in the mouth and you're shaky, how you handle it, which is what I didn't see any of the South Carolina-Oklahoma game. It was on at the same time as the Missouri game. But I would imagine that's what happened in Norman this weekend, and I think you might start to see more of it for teams that had aspirations, and now it's clear it isn't there anymore. Alabama and Missouri are both still alive. Whether or not either one gets in, I think I'd probably bet both won't, actually.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Because I think Alabama's probably going to find another loss somewhere there, and I unfortunately expect Missouri to lose at least one and probably a couple. But, you know, it is a playoff game. How they would handle it, you're right, how they would handle it. And are they just not that great? You know, I mean, when it gets down to it, they have the name, but are they just not that great?
We're 3.5 games since that monster first quarter against Georgia. 3.5 games where they have
still
looked
exists.
bad.
And so, like, I just think that they can't be, like, the floor has to be higher than what we've seen over the past couple of games, because they looked so unstoppable against Georgia in that first half, and they ended up obviously winning that game. But the defense has looked pitiful for Alabama over the past couple of weeks. But that team that beat Georgia is still there. So I don't think that they are as bad as their record might show.
I understand. I just think I think this is kind of like what I talked about midway through the baseball season, like how I grew up watching baseball teams, and you knew, like this year we're getting it, which is so great. Mm-hmm. You don't have the effing Rangers and Diamondbacks. You have the Dodgers and Yankees, two best teams. It's the best. God bless America. But with baseball having the 12-team tournament thing, the lens through which you judge teams, I have to update it for 2024 versus 2004. And I think that's college football now. Like the Kentucky team that went to Oxford lost 31-7 at home to South Carolina, but that team from Oxford went to Columbia, South Carolina, and won 27-3. It's so much more NFL parity. Like if the Chiefs were to lose to the Jaguars, like the world wouldn't stop. Right. But when Vanderbilt beat Alabama, the world stopped, you know? And so I think we get caught up on the brands of the past, but those brands of the past have been diluted by NIL and the portal. And so, do I think Oregon, whose schedule is pretty favorable, all things considered, will go undefeated? Probably not, actually. Texas losing, I don't think that, shocked anybody. Mm-hmm. Texas being down 23-0, did that really shock anybody? Really, really shock anybody? And I think that's That's why even if Missouri was much better, I would go, God, they still are going to have to get through all these teams, actually, Mississippi State and Arkansas included. I don't know about Oklahoma. That ship may have sailed, but who knows? Watch that be the one that gets them. But yeah, I think the Alabama situation, people are still paying attention to the brand name, and it just might not be who they are. Everybody, I think, has gotten over Oklahoma. I think at this point, gotten over Michigan. Sure. Florida State, obviously. My God, they just lost to Duke. But I think the brands versus what things are now, and for those of us who grew up with dominant Nebraska and Florida State and Tennessee and Alabama teams, I don't know if that's what college football is anymore. I mean, everybody in the SEC has a loss. I know LSU and Texas A&M are undefeated in the conference, but one lost to Notre Dame and one lost to USC. And by the way, how in the hell did Notre Dame lose to Northern Illinois? Somehow it's gotten worse as the season continues. Northern Illinois is garbage.
And Notre Dame has looked 180 degrees different.
Clemson, I mean, I know Clemson lost to Georgia, but Clemson has looked really good. Incredible, scoring points, too. I bet they've covered every over since then, and I think they've covered damn near every game. I don't know if they covered this past weekend.
And they scored 3 points against Georgia.
Yeah, so I mean, there is value on a bunch of like long shot teams to win the national championship, as far as not because they will, but because you're getting ridiculous on your money, ridiculous odds.
I put a small taste on A&M. They were getting 50 to 1.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you got them at 50 to 1.
Their schedule, this was just a week ago. Their schedule, I mean, looks pretty favorable to get in. Because I think they're getting in at 10-2, don't you?
I don't know. The thing is,
it's who their quality wins are. So if they're 10-2 with a win at Texas or versus Texas,
BYU and Iowa State don't play each other, but they could be in the Big 12 championship game.
Yep.
You've seen BYU's schedule. I say that like people actually have. I have seen BYU's schedule. I think I might be the only person in they got Arizona and they got Kansas State. Utah is now a mess. They just fired their OC. They don't have anybody left. If Utah and Iowa State are undefeated, do they both get in? You know, when they play each other in the Big 12 championship?
Otherwise, you could, because if that...
I think they do.
If BYU or Iowa State
So now you got 2 from Big 10, 2 from the SEC. Clemson, Miami play each other? And they both went out the rest of the way? So now, if that's the case, then I think we would agree Clemson and Miami both get in.
I don't know.
Clemson won.
Clemson would have 2 losses if they lost to Miami.
But if they beat Miami...
then they both get in. Yeah. And now we're looking at 4 at largest.
All right. Yeah. And then you got your group of 5, so you have 3 teams left.
It's not looking good. 10-2, I think.
10-2, Missouri has never been live. It's never been live. And by never, I mean ever since the A&M game, I guess I should say. But I mean, it became clear as the thing played out that this was just not... Schedule-wise, Gabe's right. They were just in a tough spot. I mean, if anything, Ole Miss should be glad they have Georgia. You know what I mean? Because they have a chance.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the thing. Absolutely. Missouri might be in a weird spot that Alabama might be if Missouri were to beat them. And again, I'm operating on a 35-40% chance, which I'm sure is. Well, I just think I think they could lose 49-3, or they could win. I don't know what Brady Cook's situation is going to be. That's what I think the delta is. But if Missouri beats Alabama, my God, what are the chances you give Alabama the following week in Baton Rouge? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're looking at a 4-loss Alabama
Absolutely,
team.
and that way doesn't look that great.
Exactly right. That's why I was big time pulling for Alabama and Knoxville. That was such a bad break.
Yeah, they kind of gave that away.
So it's all these. Bottom line, though, is if you're 11-1, you get in. If you're Illinois, you're 11-1, you get in. So when I see the polls, I'm just like, whatever. I wouldn't, Missouri, Illinois on a neutral field. I've got no problem with Illinois being the favorite there. I don't blame them. Their quote unquote resume is better at this point. James, always enjoy the conversation.
Likewise, guys. Go Tigers.
Monday. Thank you so much.
You,
there he is. That's James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today coming your way at about 9:50 here on TMA. And then Jackson and I are going to go down the hallway. Doug, you won't believe what Jackson has prepared today. This is going to be a first.
Weekend wrap up, I'm guessing.
Bow!
Is that what it is?
Yeah. A lot to cover.
Okay.
A lot happened.
You going to give the scores?
Yeah, scores and who hit home runs.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're not just going to be reading box scores.
Oh, Juan Soto with a Jim Dandy, and they're silenced in Cleveland.
A 3-run circuit clout.
Well, I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So more of that to be expected on Bloomberg.
All right. Okay.
100westdental.com. 636-585-0100. 100 West Dental. If you have bad dental health, there's a good chance it's going to affect the rest of your body, and I know that's something you don't hear a whole lot about, but it's a real thing. No phone calls needed to get in. Just check the calendar online for availability and book right then and there. No insurance, no problem. The membership plan at 100 West Dental aids in the cost of dental work for those who do not have dental insurance. They have a huge offer going on right now. If you mention me, you get $1,000 off an Invisalign package at 100 West Dental. And if you're on the fence about Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that can show you a simulation of what it'll look like before you even go through with it. It's 100westdental.com. 100westdental.com. No phone call needed. Just check the calendar online, and you can book right then and there to go in, and you don't need dental insurance. They have a membership plan. 100westdental.com. And you should probably do some thinking about it.
Well, give me some time to really think about that one.
All right, what just crossed your mind?
It crossed my mind I'm going to need more time to think because I don't want to make a hurried decision. I want to really, really get down to brass tacks on this one.
I like that. Brass tacks. Hey, mentality. Yeah, it's Monday. You could be feeling sluggish. Feeling like you've lost your edge. If your energy, focus, or drive isn't what it used to be, it's time to get back on track with Mentality Health. Your local experts in testosterone replacement therapy. Visit Mentality today at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com. Your first step to reclaiming your vitality. If you're feeling tired all the time, it might be more than just stress. Low testosterone could be the issue. Struggling to keep off the weight or maintain muscle, testosterone levels could be the culprit. Low testosterone doesn't just affect your body, it can affect your mind too, leading to irritability, anxiety, and even depression. Is belly fat and a lack of muscle tone holding you back? What used to be easy to maintain might be harder now. Mentality can help. Go online at lowtusa.com. Unlike other clinics that offer one-size-fits-all treatments, Mentality tailors your plan based on detailed lab work and ongoing consultations. Go to lowtusa.com and visit Mentality. 5 minutes away from the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Come on in. The water is warm.
It is warm in here.
What do we got? We got Buck Swope, leading JV golf coach, 5'4". Here we go.
Okay. Kevin Miller not in the picture this month?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Is he a flash in the pan?
Maybe he's raking leaves already?
You think that's what got him?
I could be.
The leaves? The foliage?
Last year he won like 3 months in a row, didn't he?
He sure did. He was a fourth. Maybe he's resting on his laurels. He's reading his own press clippings. You guys ever clip out a press clipping?
Yeah.
Cut one out of the newspaper?
Yeah.
Have you?
Do you? You probably do. You probably have some box scores from your Ledoux Horton Watkins.
No. Would have been a lot of 2 points.
You didn't clip those out?
No.
No.
They didn't really. Guy with 1 assist and
I
had a couple of eaglets I saved.
3.5 minutes played. I have a clip of Gone Burgering when I was born. My mom clipped out the Jerry Burger.
Gone Burgering.
Yeah, I was announced in the Gone Burgering section.
Nice. I wish I'd clipped out everything. I have a friend who did it, and at the time we thought, oh, you're pretty proud of yourself there.
It is folksy.
But now, looking back, I kind of wish I had some of that stuff.
Super folksy.
My mom was never impressed. Hey, look, you're in the paper for Clay Morgan's promoting gambling. Let me clip that out.
Oh, your arrest record, too.
Just real quickly on this this college football craziness, there's a chance that Army and Navy could play for the American Athletic Conference Championship, and then the next week have the annual Army-Navy game.
How great would that be?
That would be so awesome.
How great would that be?
Because they're both undefeated as of right now.
Yeah.
They're both slated to play.
And just destroying teams.
They are.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's given 12.5 at Navy this Saturday.
Both teams are actually throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I love it when the service academies are good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever had it in my life where
I can't
both
remember
are this good.
Navy, there's been a couple times in my life I feel like we're Navy.
Yeah, Missouri
Navy's gotten
played them.
it. Yeah.
Texas will.
Yeah, but
They were
never
good when they
both.
had that Hawaiian coach, Navy.
Yeah,
I don't think he's still there.
I forget his name.
Bill Maui.
I forgot his name. He's from Hawaii, I believe.
And didn't Air Force have a good team at one point? Pretty good team.
They've had good teams before.
Yeah.
But yeah, this could be. I mean, how cool would that be if you would it take away from the Army-Navy game if the week before they did battle for what would be the more optimal prize?
Probably would, a little bit, yeah.
Doug Woodenshoe02 says the Rangers did win 90 games last year.
Okay.
They only played 82, didn't they?
Only played 82 games?
New York Rangers? I don't think they played
Texas
that many
Rangers.
games. Oh,
Texas.
sorry.
I like a good non sequitur text.
I thought you were talking hockey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be a
I
good
don't think
year.
we were. I don't think we were talking baseball or hockey for that matter. So your guess on the New York Rangers is as reasonable as any.
Yeah. About 30 minutes ago, you said last year we had Texas and Arizona in the World Series.
That's right.
That's what that was about. Yeah. 92 wins.
Some people are PLTDing.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Man, the 10 minutes of WNBA talk combined with the rest of the 3 hours on college football was unmatched today. Nobody can do what you guys can. Can we please run it back again? I'm enjoying the show. That's Mr. Cider.
I don't know if run it back. You can go listen to it whenever you want.
Might have been facetious.
Angry guy.
Cider is angry?
Seems like it.
Okay. What did he want us to discuss?
Probably hockey.
Well, the Blues did get a couple good wins.
Yeah, I mean, a Jim Dandy against the forecheck of the Hurricane.
Well, the second period.
On Thursday and Saturday.
4-2.
Hofer got back-to-back starts. I don't recall that ever happening since Bennington had his run.
Well, who's going to start against the undefeated wins per game?
I would guess Benner. But who knows?
Hofer had 37
Has he been
saves.
displaced?
Is he hurt?
No. As far as I know, he wasn't. Hofer pitched a shutout Thursday, and then got another start on Saturday's bat.
Against the strong forecheck of the Hurricanes.
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see the Blues for a while after wins per game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
They're gone until like November.
And WPG stands for wins per game, not Winnipeg.
That's correct.
Okay.
In the context of what Good Morning Grant gave me in the sheet, it made more sense than Winnipeg.
Wins per game.
Sandbag.
We were just looking how many wins they have, right?
I did. Well, what's the Vaughn index?
Whoa.
That's a very complicated mathematical
Yikes.
formula.
I don't like that. I don't like that tone.
Yeah.
And the fact that it coincides so often with how many games back you are.
It shows how accurate it is.
Right, I know.
my
I know.
God.
Same with wins per game.
It's like checking your work.
Yeah. Like the Blues have a certain amount of wins per game. I was going to say it, and I realized I don't know it. They have 4 wins per game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Per game, they're averaging like 0.8 wins.
See?
Pretty nice.
So it is different than just wins.
Well, ideally, you'd be over 1 or at 1, because considering that's the maximum.
Yeah.
You can't get 2 wins for 1 game.
I see.
I'm just explaining how.
I got it now, yeah.
Puck hockey.
Don't ever say puck hockey again.
Puck hockey.
Hockey puck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there was the hockey.
As
talk.
Missouri was wrapping things up, I was celebrating my wager paying off and just screaming like a ninny on Saturday at the game. Gentleman right behind, it was just me and my wife at the game, comes up and goes, "This is going to be the most lesbianic homecoming of all time."
Oh,
Hell yeah.
my goodness.
Hell yeah.
You didn't see any evidence of that.
No, but my wife was really disappointed in the gentleman, and whereas I couldn't have been more proud of him.
Yeah. And with that, he just left, turned, reared, and walked away.
He was very pleased with himself.
I like the idea
He
of,
deserved it.
like whispering it to you, like this is gonna be the most lesbian, and then just
I don't know.
scurrying away.
There was a lady in front of us who wanted Missouri to win maybe more than Brady Cook did. She was probably about 75, going nuts
Hell yeah.
about what was going on. And I guess it was on the last drive, and I mean, God, that interior line had some rough moments. And Cook was sacked, lost 8 yards, and she goes, "That's it! I can't handle it anymore." I believe the gentleman to her right was her husband. I think he's been putting up with some stuff for 50 years.
Yeah.
So at this point, he's just kind of like,
God bless him.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up, grabs all of her stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, this is her Kirk Gibson's brake lights moment. She's going to miss what's going to happen. And sure enough, she leaves. 10 minutes later, Jamal Roberts is in the end zone.
She left without him?
He stayed, and she just left.
Really?
And,
separate rides home. She
Where
was
does
so
a
upset.
75-year-old go by herself?
my house.
Yeah. Shout out Jamal Roberts, St. Mary's.
That's right. Fight Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was listening to Gabe and Gerard Hamilton talk about they hate him being out there because it's a telegraph that it's a pass play. They're never going to run
He's
it
a
with him.
pass
And then
pro
all of a
guy.
sudden, they were running with him.
Yeah, he's a third down back, and they use him for pass pro, but he was great. That was a great extra effort to get in the end zone there. It was huge.
Were you sitting in the area where you get free popcorn and hot dogs, drinks all night?
No.
That's upper deck, so I wouldn't have expected it.
Where did you get?
No.
How were you? Sitting? So you
I
had to
was
buy 'em
so
there.
confident that I was going to be able to play the market. Oh, it's 9:54. I guess I got to go. That I was going to be able to play the market, and the tickets would drop off, and just bad read on StubHub. So eventually, we're like on the shuttle from our phenomenal hotel to Faroe Field. A lot of War Eagle on that shuttle too, and I'm like, I guess I'm going to just have to buy these ridiculous tickets, and the StubHub fees are what bang you.
Big time.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Big time.
So we were on the student section side, I don't know, probably like 45-yard line. Doug, was it row 50?
I don't know. You look into the sun quite a bit of the day.
No, the sun was kind of back
Overhead.
left shoulder. Yeah. With an 11 o'clock
And you paid
kickoff.
how much?
I mean, it's not a good upside.
6.
No.
I paid 6.
600.
No, not that.
I'd be terrified to go to a game and be on my way and still not have my tickets.
I mean, I was in
I can't ride that
the
way.
parking lot. In the parking lot. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just see some student that's got 2 tickets. But everything's digital, so it's not that you don't have that going on.
There's nobody holding up ducats.
And I was just really disappointed in myself. But I loved the play. I thought that there'd be, and I saw the ticket kind of dropping, but it somehow it bounced back up about 15 minutes before kickoff. And I'm like, crap, I guess I got to buy time in the line to go in the stadium. I don't have tickets.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, James I forgot to bring this up to James. The issue with like people just crowding into the seats.
Yeah.
I don't know what they can do about it.
I know.
But it is.
People will take up way more than they're given.
But I counted it. We were in seats 13 and 14, and then I counted just for then. I wasn't like going to yell at people, but I'm like, okay, there's no way. There were 17 people for the 14 seats.
Yeah, there's no real, because they don't have actual seats. It's all bleachers everywhere.
Yeah.
People that buy those seats to sit on the M, and then they come and sit with their friends. Is
That maybe, children, people just coming around. It's
Don't
a
you need a
total
ticket to get
free-for-all.
in there?
Yeah.
You need a ticket to get in, but there's no one checking tickets.
There's no one checking the tickets when you go into the bleachers. All right, so let's hold on. Transform your story at Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, the team believes in the strength of every individual's journey to recovery. Whether you're taking the first step or you're continuing your path, the IRC's dedicated team is here to support you. Why choose Illinois Recovery Center? A holistic healing approach, expert care and guidance, safe and welcoming environment, tailored programs for lasting recovery, top-notch facility, and accommodation. If you're embarking on the path of recovery and a profound journey of breaking free from the chains of addiction and actively building resilience, it's about tapping into the inherent strength within, acknowledging the battles faced, and emerging victorious over adversity. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own, or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Design Air Heating and Cooling, email the day. Ow! Sadie Hawkins, Doug, they were going wild at Chavez Ravine as NLCS MVP Tommy Edman had a grand slam as he led the Dodgers to the World Series, where they'll meet Luke Weaver and the New York Yankees. Mizzou trailed Auburn for most of the second half, but managed to squeak out a win thanks to that shot of Toradol, or whatever the doctors gave Brady Cook for his injured ankle. I didn't see Eli Drinkwitz celebrating becoming bowl eligible with a cigar, but he did wear a bowl-bound T-shirt in the post-game press conference. Tiger Terry brought it strong on Gaib's post-game show, yet Libby Jack didn't bother including it in his supercut. That don't matter because Chairman Kurt clipped that off. There was some trash officiating in the deciding game of the WNBA Finals, and the losing coach lit up the officials in the post-game press conference, but we don't have the audio because Libby Jack didn't feel like editing out the S-bomb, so he's going to play a different clip that nobody wanted to hear. But I think the lead is that there's Uber drivers out there with effing show dogs with tiaras. Bizarre. Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, Libby Jack doesn't like dogs. That's probably why Tim's Best in Show reference went completely over his head, despite his being a self-proclaimed Parker Posey fan. Jackson, have you seen...
This guy sucks, dude.
It's a strong email so far.
He's Buck Swope.
Buck Swope.
No, he's not done.
Oh.
Have you seen Best in Show?
No.
Oh,
it's funny.
It is. You enjoy it.
I know.
I bet he'd watch if Iggy's buddy Art Sears got her lined up for an interview. Can't wait for this Chelsea Handler interview so we can talk politics and P. Diddy. Yeah, apparently once Diddy was an hour late for her show on E! And she berated him. What's that? We can't talk about P. Diddy? In that case, I'm going to see if my work wife wants to abandon her own show tomorrow and sit in for me since I got no questions prepared for Chelsea besides at what age did he become sexually active. Doug, that's Buck Swope.
Buck Swope with a nice little email this morning.
I'll have plenty of questions for him.
Hey, Doug, you want a hot take? We've put men on the moon, and we can get live 4K sports video on our phones without any delay. Why can't we have a video review ref in every booth at every college and pro sporting venue watching every play and buzzing down to the head ref and telling him, yes, you got that right? No, you need to reverse that on tight calls. It would be instant, and I'm sick and tired of watching a pot-bellied head referee jog over to an iPad on a stick with a sunshade and plastic bag over it to review 80 camera angles to see if they did it right after someone had to challenge it. Mizzou A&M had significant calls go wrong. Texas and Georgia second half was a disaster. Tired of it, Doug. That's from the two-time Dogtown Tie.
Dogtown Tie making some good points this morning.
And finally, I know we go to bowls around here, and Tommy Edmond is the NLCS MVP, but I got bigger fish to fry. Jackson, please remove Gene P from the fan page immediately. Who's Gene P?
Don't know.
Is there a guy that just goes by Gene P?
I don't know.
Yeah, imagine.
Is that a Hoosier Trojan?
Yeah,
Could be a
if that's
nasty
real,
guy.
then he's a Hoosier Trojan.
He had the audacity to create a poll asking which one of the 5 greatest golfers of all time has the biggest crank, but this Gene fella didn't even mention Tim McKernan as one of the poll options. I guarantee Tim's Haynes Hammer would put Walter Hagen's love putter to shame. Side note, Haynes Hammer, yeah. Can you imagine Nick Saban or Bear Bryant wearing a hastily produced shirt that says bowl bound after barely beating a terrible team?
No.
Yeah, I agree here. No shot. Whatever happened to tough guy coaches like Woody Hayes who throat punched a kid in the middle of a game? If the bar is win 6 games and become bowl eligible, mission accomplished. But the goal should be contending for a national championship, not cruising around campus in a dump truck full of lightsabers. Meanwhile, you dumbasses are talking about women's basketball for the 4th day in a row. I swear, if you guys lead with the WNBA again tomorrow, I'm deleting the TMASTL app. I'm tired of this from the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach.
And that's what we got for the designer.
Well, they were all good today, but I thought Dogtown Tie made some wonderful points, so I'm going to vote for Dogtown Tie.
He made some wonderful points, but it wasn't funny. I go with levity, so I'm going to go with JV golf coach.
I'll be darned.
Oh, man, I think you can make a case. I'm going to go with JV golf coach as well.
Lucas!
Congratulations, JV golf. And this tied Buck Swope?
Yeah.
Wow, we got a battle. Jackson, I'm going to go in a hallway. It's not going to go well. I can tell you that.
It won't.
All right, for Jackson, Better Burkett, Chairman Kenneth Iggy Strode, member of the Kevin Douglas of One, Tim McKernan. This is Ben, TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all 4 TMA boys across the front.